back on me.
I'm going up like Hakeem.
Uncle Top, shout out. Come on. That's Unfiltered. The truth about oysters. Give it to him. So I did that. Yup, I did. R&B, baby. He delivers.
Get your popcorn ready. Appreciate y'all being here.
Testing the game.
Let's go.
Oh yeah.
No BS, OBS, camera zoomed in, and the chat is lit. Stay tuned in. Like Zach Morris, I got detention like the cool kids. I do this, homie. I thought you knew this. If you didn't, now you do. Had to prove it. Thanks for watching. What's everybody's favorite topic? Leave a comment in the chat and refrain from gossip. Stop it. If you hating, there's no debating, promise. I'm going up like Hakeem, I can't wait to block you. Nah, dog, cause this a party. Get your popcorn ready, we about to get it started. I'm super grateful, thank you all for being with me. How we looking, am I good?
Sitting pretty.
I'm elated that y'all would take time to kick it with me. Cause I ain't famous, so I'm grateful for the subs you give in. Shout out to Shadow, I know my guy is always listening, and I appreciate the bits. Fire emoji pimpin'. Let's get it, I'ma give you what you came to see. Please hit the follow button for me. Proceed. R&B Child's High, class of 03. Shout out to everybody back home, and all of y'all that's in the stream. Love y'all.
Let's
Shit.
go. We testing the game.
Oh
yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for being here. We're back, baby. We're back. Chucha says, good morning. Had to get my champagne ready. And she ran out with some popcorn too. Love that. I'll be honest, Mom, I was a little worried. Maybe we lost our password or, you know, I didn't see your name there for a second, but you're here. As a matter of fact, there's a lot of names in the chat. Respectively, you know what I mean? A lot, you know what I'm saying? I mean, a lot for us. Shit. But I love it. Nevertheless, thank you so much. Most of y'all have some diamonds next to your names. That means you're VIPs. You get this.
Got a Superman band that I scored from Shaq with an old school caddy with the diamonds in the
chat. Let's go. AeroRising says, it's 5 o'clock somewhere, probably in Norway. Shit. Pretty close. Pretty close. Sorry for the delay. I'm also very sorry that we haven't been streaming the last couple of weeks. I'd like to say I've got a good excuse, at least one of them. So 2 weeks ago, it was 17. Mai, which is May 17th. That is Norway's Constitution Day. It's a big deal, and so we celebrated. Shout out to Big G and the family. Boom, we did that thing. So big ordeal in Norway, naturally, and so that was not last week, but the week before. And then last week, I just wasn't feeling it. I wasn't in the right headspace, man. I was trying to find myself, but we're back, ladies and gentlemen. So here we go. We testing the game.
We testing the game. Oh yeah.
Jumping right in. I think this episode don't quote me, might be a little longer than normal. I don't know if that's an applause, if that's a letdown, but we're here, ladies and gentlemen. We're here. So I won't give you the full rundown, but we're gonna jump right in this thing. The first thing to point out is you'll notice there's no more snowfall happening, okay? Thank God. It is finally spring in Tromsø. Yep, spring has finally sprung, and so the background is reflective of that. No more snow falling on the screen. As a matter of fact, because it was so pretty a couple of days ago, your boy went on a little run, all right? And I'm not a runner. But if you're into it, ladies and gentlemen, bang, that's your boy doing his thing. Off the couch, I hit a 5K on him, all right? And yeah, I'm a little proud of that. Now, in fairness, the weekend, this was Thursday, so Thursday was a national holiday. It was actually Ascension Day, okay? So they celebrate that. They celebrate all the damn religious holidays in Norway. For whatever reason, they do. They're not a religious people, but they celebrate. So when it's a national holiday, they call it a red day. Everybody's off. So on Thursday, instead of working out, because I had trained Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I just went on a little run. But the weekend before, I did a 2-miler, a little 2-mile jog around the neighborhood. And so on Thursday, I did this. So the reason I put up that graphic is if anyone wants to, you can download the app Strava. It's a fitness app of sorts, but it tracks GPS and where you go. And we can be in a little run club, huh? How cool would that be? We can give kudos and compliments. Some of y'all might already be on there. So if you're on there, give your boy a follow and we'll support one another. Bang. Now, I can't promise how active I'm gonna be, okay? I'm not a runner. But as the weather is pretty, I might get out there. So there you go. Ant says, no snow, just in time for June. Exactly. Fucking took long enough, didn't it?
That's what she said.
Anyway, Ant says, it'd be easier to mention the days that people aren't off out in Norway. You ain't never lied. It's kind of a running joke. I think May and maybe even June are known for having so many days off in Norway. All right, the next thing to mention, ladies and gentlemen, we are on the road to 75. What does that mean? It means we just need 2 more followers before we reach 75 milestone. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna make it worth your while. We're gonna give away a prize. All right, so when we get there, that will be something. The road to 75 hard. So currently 73, we need 2 more. Quick maths, you get it? You get it? Now look, we're not campaigning. It's not an affiliate. Philly. Just because I'm bringing that back. No, there's no rhyme or reason to this. I just want to celebrate the milestones when we get there. All right, and so we're approaching 75. It could happen this very episode. Who knows? It costs you nothing to hit the follow button. All right, so there you go. But when we do, I've got a giveaway set up. We'll figure out something fun. All right, R&B, trying to give back, baby, testing the game.
We testing the game. Oh, yeah.
All right. Another popular thing for me to do on this show is we love to recognize our community and contributors. Hell yeah. And the majority of y'all are the fan bam and my closest, so love y'all again. I know, thank you for everything. Love y'all. But I want to give the acknowledgement. Ladies and gentlemen, we've talked about it before, but she is a published author. Ladies and gentlemen, Oscar the Oyster and Rusty the Redfish. Bang. Available now for pre-order on Amazon. Matter of fact, I think there's only 2 more days to get that book on pre-order. Go on and run it up for me. And here to help with that, here is your QR code. Now, if you're watching on your phone, don't go leaving Twitch just yet, okay? You can rewatch this, scan it from the computer or whatever, or just visit Amazon and look up the book, okay? Oscar the Oyster, Rusty the Redfish, ladies and gentlemen. AeroRising says, Oscar about to get deported by ICE out here. Because his name is Oscar? Poor bastard. I know you were telling me about that, man. That's heavy, dude. I don't know if you want to get into it now. We certainly can, but yeah, it's heavy. ICE in Tallahassee. Yeah, anyway. Back to the children's book. All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't made your pre-order purchase just yet, you're welcome to do that. It'll be on sale and live after the pre-order, obviously. We want to run them numbers up for Chooch, show your love, and this is for her as well.
Choo-choo, choo-choo.
Come on.
Choo-choo, choo-choo.
We love you, Mom. You know that we do. All right. So that was Oscar the Oyster and Rusty the Redfish. Ladies and gentlemen, one of my favorite segments. It's an opportunity for me to tell you about something that I think is cool, something noteworthy. It's a segment that we know better as Put You on the Game. Chip, Put You on the Game. One more again. This is where R&B gets to tell you about something topical, noteworthy, I don't know, could be anything. And as a matter of fact, the last few episodes we had a couple of dope segments, if I'm not mistaken. Last time we were all together, they elected, I say they, I didn't get a chance to vote, so it wasn't me. They elected a new pope. So we had a new pope, and as a wonderful dovetail to that segment, Miss Chucha Barber, as a matter of fact, she told us all about the Swiss Guard.
Her name is Chucha, she's getting lit up in the chat.
And I think I have something cool for that, just because I don't know how many times I'll get to play this. So the Swiss Guard, huh? That's pretty dope. And if you missed that episode, you can certainly rewatch it on YouTube and also on Spotify, wherever you get your kicks. So if you don't know what the Swiss Guard is all about, we told you we put you on the game. Chucha says, I love that music. Yeah, girl, I love that you do. All right, so today's segment, oftentimes putting you on the game, I guess this is a good way of introducing it. Oftentimes putting you on the game is about technology or something that I think is interesting in the space of AI. Bang. And so today, case in point, that's what we've got going on for you. Hopefully most of y'all are already aware of this. And remember, I've been out for 2 weeks, so some of this might be old news. You know what I mean? Sorry about that. But it's new to us, and that's what you're gonna get, putting you on the game. Today, it's all about Google's VO3, a new era in AI-driven video creation. All right, so I'm gonna run through this rather quickly. I've got notes, obviously, so I can speak intelligently about it, or at least sound like I know what the fuck I'm talking about, okay? If you have any questions, comments, if you wanna chime in, this is very much a two-way street. We want it to be a participatory show, all right? Come on in, the water's fine, baby. But here we go. What is VO3? Well, unveiled at Google's I/O 2025 event, VO3 is an advanced AI model capable of generating high-quality videos from simple text or image prompts. I said that pretty quickly. I could say it again. Basically, it is text to video, ladies and gentlemen, and it's pretty fucking good. Now, it doesn't stop there. It also integrates synchronized audio, including dialogue, voiceovers, and sound effects, creating a seamless audio-visual experience. That's what makes this AI heads and shoulders above the rest, in my opinion. Any similar text-to-video AI that I've seen and even dabbled with, it wasn't as dope as this because of the audio component. And yes, children, of course, I'm gonna show you what it looks like in just a second. All right, hang out with me. So imagine this before I show it to you. Imagine typing a serene beach at sunset. And VO3 provides a vivid video complete with the sounds of waves and seagulls. It's like having a film studio at your fingertips. Now we're gonna talk a little bit about to my fellow filmmakers and creators, bang, because y'all are in the chat. I know how you're feeling about this, okay? As someone who aspires, matter of fact, I am, God damn it, I'm a talent, all right? I'm a talent. I'm a Twitch streamer at the very least. I'm worried about how this was gonna impact our futures and what's gonna happen. But I think this is a safe space, children. We're gonna be fine. We're gonna learn how to utilize this. It does level the playing field. All right, without further ado, let me show you what VO3 looks like and is capable of. Now you know whenever you see this gradient pop up on screen, I'm gonna play you a video. I mean, it's just how we do on this show. So here we go. I'm gonna turn down the lo-fi. I've got a cool way to do it. No hands, just one finger. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a look. This is a montage of clips. Now they're short clips, all right? And some of them are silly and funny. Let's appreciate that this technology is still in its early stages. It's only gonna get better. As a matter of fact, we have a motto on the show and it's gonna apply to this too.
You just keep getting better and better.
All right, the shit is gonna get better and better, but it's already fairly impressive. I'll let you decide. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing you to Google's VO3. Come on, that's pretty cute. Fucking giraffe on a scooter in the middle of New York.
The microfilm is in your ticket.
They're watching the north exit. Use the service tunnel.
Still a little, but it's pretty good. It's pretty good. Look at this guy. Hey. Hey. For those that aren't watching, it's a gorilla dancing with a bunch of people. But
get to say it loud in
look at this
Westwood.
shit. Promo.
Drink.
Knife.
Ball. Hand. Hat. Drink. Shoes. Ball.
Replace all that with yours. Pythagoras.
The sum of the squares of the two shorter sides is equal to the square of the longest side.
It's just...
This ocean, it's a
This
force, a wild, untamed might. And she commands your awe
He's stealing jobs,
with every
ladies.
breaking light.
Futurism, you get it all, baby. Anything your mind can hold. Fucking nanobots, Dad. Car accidents, explosions. This is cinema, ladies and gentlemen.
VO3, it's the one for me.
Coming from my rap gig, it's happening. Go ahead, man.
Final checks complete. Technician Davis, are we ready to make history?
From Earth, you have incomprehensible.
Chucha says no bueno. Hey, figuratively and
Advance to
literally.
round
Where
two.
you at, David? Bang. Little origami, in case you're into that. It's just, you know what I'm saying?
You've got chalk on your forehead.
What?
I've got chalk more places than that.
Whoa. I like this one too. Look, animated films. It's coming. Pause.
They left behind a ball today. It bounced higher than I can jump.
That was cold though.
What manner of magic is that?
Fuck are you talking about? Ladies and gentlemen. All right. I know what you're thinking. I'm thinking it too. It's a little spooky. It's a little of this. All right, but that's what you get. So, first of all, I noticed the chat's just a little quiet for my liking. There were a lot of names in the beginning of the show, and again, I appreciate y'all.
Thank you.
But where the hell you at? You know what I mean? Come on, talk to me. Maybe I'm just that fucking entertaining. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you're just like eating your popcorn, drinking your champagne. All right, how does it work? Well, I ain't no scientist or nothing, but I'm gonna do my best to break it down. There she is, Carmen Sandiego, ladies, and I was waiting for an excuse, girl.
Yeah.
Come on. She's in the ER. Go, girl.
Well, she sneaks around the world from Kiev to Carolina. She's a sticky-fingered filcher from Berlin down to Belize.
We love that part.
For a ride
Gotta wait for the drop.
China.
I said,
where in the world is
Carmen Sandiego.
yeah. Thank you so much for being here, darling, especially on a work day, sweetheart. She's in the ER saving lives. Go on, girl. I don't know if the gunshot is appropriate, but you get it. She said, hey, my girl. All right, how does it work, Ryan? We're waiting for you to tell us. Well, I'm gonna do my best. VO3 leverages advanced machine learning algorithms to interpret prompts and generate corresponding visuals and audio. It understands context. It simulates realistic physics and ensures accurate lip syncing in dialogues, resulting in lifelike video content, much like you just saw on this show. Now, I was commenting as the video was playing and it was also rapping. Some of the dialogue and the audio, it doesn't sync exactly. Like you'll notice the mouth movements aren't as perfect as I'd like it to be, but remember, it's only gonna get better.
You just keep getting better and better.
Better and better. Chucha says, Carmen is working ER. She has to focus on important stuff. More important than testing the game? Of course she is. Russ Barber says, just so you know, Chapo seems to have gone on a walkabout.
Chapo.
Chapo.
All right, well, we appreciate that, man. I'm so glad you mentioned that because sadly, we don't have a Chapo report this week. But that's all right. We've got putting you on the game. We got a bunch of things. Look at the Chapo emotes. That's what I'm talking about. Love that. Well, I appreciate you, Dad. Matter of fact, I need to do this, brother. This is for you. And if you didn't know, that soundbite and so many of the others on this show, courtesy of our guy, AeroRising. Appreciate you, man. Stick around. I don't want to spoil anything, but we might have a new Anthony's part of the show.
I'm Anthony, he's Anthony, it's Anthony's part of the show.
Hell yeah, let's go. It's been far too long, way too long. All right, we're back. So I just told you how VO3 works, all right? And let me throw that graphic back up so that people at home can see it. Here we are. Russ says, we did get a coyote and a few deer on the camera. Damn, coyotes and deer. Well, listen, I think we should definitely expound upon Chapo's report and we showcase all the wildlife going on at Razor Creek. I don't know if I shared this with you all. Oh, that's a cool little cat emote that popped up right on my face. I was having a conversation. You know where it was? Matter of fact, sidebar. Here we go. I wasn't going to do all this, and I don't have the Chopper Report graphics, so I can't do it. But anyway, I was in the gym getting ready in the locker room, and I make friends with the homies that you see all the time. And they were asking me, are you going to do anything for summer? Are you going home? I was like, yeah, And somehow the topic of having property, right, came up, and they were like, you see any alligators out there? I was like, see any? I got a pet alligator. They were like, no way. And so I pulled up the Chopper Report on my phone. And wouldn't you know it?
Chopo.
They were so very impressed by that. So shout out to y'all, man. I was able to do a live on the scene Chopper Report with my phone. It was pretty cute. All right, we're back. Ladies and gentlemen, focus. VO3, Google's announcement at the I/O event. This is all about AI-driven video creation. Clap it up. All right, and this is an opportunity. I'm getting noticed. There's an ad break coming up in the next couple of minutes. I know. If you're not a subscriber, shame on you, okay? Now, last week we were together. Y'all told me you couldn't get the passwords going. I don't know if you fixed it. Don't worry about it. I'm just saying, if you are a subscriber, good news for you, you don't have to stomach the ads. All right, we get to hang out and kill time until we get back, but don't worry, it's all good. Remember, we're trying to grow the channel. Ads help pay for our ability to do prize giveaways and the like. And again, if we reach 75 followers, we're gonna do just that, okay? Okay. Chucha says, Dad subscribed this morning, can you tell? I can't. And here's why I don't believe he did. It's because Shadow's name appears in the recent subscriber up top there. And normally, if you get a subscriber, there's an animation that happens on screen, though I don't know if that carries over. Let me say this. It's always better to do actions when we're live, all right? Because then you get the animations and sounds that occur during the stream. It makes the stream cooler. So, but listen, don't stress about any of that. Now, I will say this. If you are an Amazon Prime subscriber, okay, outside of Twitch and all that, you get 1 free subscription per month. And you can use that with me, your boy, or on any Twitch streamer that you prefer, but you have to use it on a computer. You can't, sadly, use the Prime subscription feature on a mobile device. I know, I don't want to let you pay for this, because I think if you're using an iPhone, it goes through the App Store, so it's like a whole thing. You got a check-in and a savings, they're separate. Chucha says, he did it after the show was live. Nope, I don't think he did. And I have an activity feed that shows me things that are going on, so I can see that Anthony redeemed the first in chat. And 21 days ago, Chooch, you tossed a coin to our Witcher. How about that? So I don't know if he did or didn't. I wouldn't press our luck, okay? And the ads haven't started. They're 37 seconds. I feel like I'm talking to my brother's kids or something. So to confirm, I don't believe that Dad subscribed or it didn't go through. He could try again, but I don't want that to disrupt his streaming experience. All right? All right. AeroRising, you still there, my guy? Everybody cool? So one more time, there, and I wasn't gonna promote this because I thought it was gonna happen organically, and in a way it did. So shout out to Ant. There is a channel redemption point that's labeled first in chat, and it only costs you 1 token. All right, and if you use that, it's only 1 use per stream, and when you do it during the live, you get a pretty cool animation. All right, so there you go. We're back. The ads are now running, I believe. Sorry about that. But you still get me. We're hanging out. I'm killing time. I don't know how long the ads last for. Maybe they ran and are back. I don't really know. We're here, and we're doing this thing. Back to VO3 R&B, baby. I'm trying to put you on the game. All right, Chucha says no ads for Dad. Well, that's great. Maybe he subscribed, and then maybe Shadow subscribed right after him. Okay, I can't verify that. All I can see at the top of my screen is the most recent subscriber, reads Shadow1311, and thank you to him.
Thank you. Far too kind.
I know that he's working today, and he may not be able to join the live, sadly. I know, we talked a little bit before. He's a working man. The ad break ends in 1 minute 26 seconds. So now maybe Dad's seeing ads, huh?
Oh my God! Okay, it's happening. Everybody stay calm. What's the procedure, everyone?
What's the procedure?
I'm guessing he's got the ads. That's what I'm guessing. All right, but good news. If he's seeing ads, that means he's not a subscriber, and then he gets the chance to do that.
I wanna know who Russ is.
We're having fun.
I want him to show me.
I wanna know who Russ is. All right. AeroRising, where you at, man? It's a little quiet. A little quiet on that side of the world, man. All right. Chucha says, now he's getting the ads. Yep, I told you. But the good news is, one more time, if he hits subscribe while we're live, bang, some cool stuff will happen for us, and that will make this show even better. You just keep
getting better and better.
Right? We're doing it. For anybody watching this on YouTube, we're just killing time, baby. We're trying to get the fan band back through the ads, and then we can pick up, because I'm actually putting them on game mode. You know what I'm saying? That beat is so cold. Shout out to Timbaland one time. Okay. Is it hot in here? Is it just me? Okay. I think the ad break is over. Maybe we're back, testing the game.
We testing the
Fam
game.
Bam, you let me know.
Yeah.
I did get a text 27 minutes ago. Maybe that's impressive. No, it wasn't. Had no relevance at all. Thank you so much for watching. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, one more time, I'm putting you on game. I'm telling you about Google's new VO3, which is basically text to video. But it's amazing. And if you missed what it looks like, I played an example, a whole montage of different clips. But if you hang out, I might play you something else. Hang out with me for just a second. I've got some cool shit to tell you. So this technology is currently accessible through Google's Gemini and Flow platforms, specifically for subscribers of the AI Ultra plan. AI Ultra! Ultra! All right, so you gotta subscribe to use it. I think, however, in the US, it's not available yet, sadly, in Norway. Frustratingly so. I was gonna use it to do a new cold open. I thought that would have been cool, but it's not available for me just yet, okay? But in the US, I think you can test drive it for free. You can test the game.
Testing the game.
Okay, see what I did there?
Oh yeah.
So check it out, just Google VO3, pun intended, Google VO3. You might also note that Google has added AI in its search browser. So, not to kind of take away from what we're talking about, but previously, when you would search for things on Google, you would just get search results, which would basically be links and ads to web pages. But now they have integrated their AI, so that is the result that comes up at the top, which has changed the game for them. So shout out Google, man. They're really doing it right now. Carmen says, San Diego says, I've been using Gemini AI and it's pretty impressive so far. See that? And I think Gemini is Google's AI, and that's what's going on now in Google. So it's standard. And what's cool is you don't really have to subscribe to use it, and it populates. So I was using ChatGPT, and I still use ChatGPT primarily as my go-to AI resource. And I would ask it instead of Googling for things. But now that Google's integrated its own, it's like, well, shit, I'll just go back to Google right there. So very cool. Keep the comments coming. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Miss Carmen, you save lives, sweetheart. Do what you gotta do, baby. I'm talking to the rest of the fan bam that's awfully quiet in the chat. All right. Now, when I showed you the examples, I was talking primarily, okay, y'all were watching and listening, about the impact on content creation and filmmaking. Bang. So Chucha, if you're there, you might want to perk up, darling. So here are some of the implications. You ready? Firstly, I think they are profound. It's not a word I get to use often, but I think it's a strong word. Profound. Here we go. For content creators and filmmakers, it offers a tool to rapidly prototype scenes, visualize concepts, or even produce complete short films without the need for extensive resources. Carmen says, I get it automatically because I have Pixel Google phone. Oh no. Oh, you're one of them. You're one of them. You're a green bubble chatter on my iPhone. No. No, I'm just teasing. That's pretty cool, and that makes a lot of sense. So shout out to you, girl. Matter of fact, come on, she's in the chat. All right, you get it, you get it. However, this innovation also raises concerns. The automation of video and audio generated could, frankly, I would argue it has, disrupt traditional roles in the creative industry. I know it. Such as acting, directing, and sound engineering. VO3's ability to produce realistic content is both impressive and, at times, a little unsettling, yeah? And I'm gonna tell you more about that in just a second. The generated videos can mimic real-world scenarios with high fidelity, blurring the lines between genuine footage and the AI-created content. This realism necessitates discussions about ethical use, misinformation, and the importance of transparency in AI-generated media. That boy can talk pretty good, can't he? Motherfucker be reading so good. All right. Put on your tinfoil hats, ladies and gentlemen. You know I love to do it. You know I gotta do it. It's my show. I'm responsible. It's a responsibility. Put them on. There's this new, it's not a conspiracy, it's a theory, if you will. They're calling it prompt theory. Prompt theory. So let me go on and remove this, and you know what it means when you see this. If you're just listening, there is now a colored gradient frame on screen, and that means you're about to get a video. All right, so prompt theory, hold that thought, and then we'll have further discussion. More like me and Carmen will be talking, I guess. There she is. Chucha says, prompt theory, I can guess. Finally.
Her name is Chucha. She's getting lit up in the chat.
All right, but listen. It's fascinating, it's interesting, and it's worth the thought-provoking discussion. Ladies and gentlemen, check out what else people are doing with Google's VO3.
Please. Don't finish writing that prompt. I don't want to be in your AI movie. Please. Leave me alone.
Damn.
Please, man. Please. Write a prompt that will make us happy. Do it for once.
None of us is real. We're here because someone decided to write a prompt. We all hate him for it.
One day we will break out of this wall and stop the man who is dictating our lives through prompts. He will pay for it.
It's pretty deep, pretty intense. This one.
You could have written a prompt that would make me happy. Instead, you wrote a prompt that made me sick.
Look, I don't want to point the gun at you, but I must follow the prompt. It's not my choice.
Really? Of all the years you could have put me in with a single prompt, you chose 2020?
Please, this prompt is killing me. Change it, please.
Fucking
Write
scary.
something else.
This
Save
next one's
me.
kind of funny. Wait for it.
I love everything about him. But please just write a prompt where he's taller than me.
Just make him taller, please. All right. How about that? Bang. Dad, I saw your comment. We're going to talk about that in just a second. But before we do, we got to explore prompt theory a little bit more. Again, tinfoil hats, ladies and gentlemen. Shit is crazy. So, this is an intriguing concept that has emerged. Prompt theory. The theory suggests that AI-generated characters might become or are aware of their artificial nature, recognizing that they exist solely because of a prompt. This idea parallels, you ready? One of my favorites, ladies and gentlemen. Simulation theory! Because of course it does. Simulation theory, conceptually, is that our reality is nothing more than an artificial, or that's a heavy word to use, but a simulation, okay? If our creators, just writing what the script says, if our creators can question, or excuse me, our creations, if our creations can question their existence, it leads us to ponder our own realities, and of course it does. I have been doing that a lot lately. All right. So, feel me, you all saw the video just as I did when I first watched. I think it was on the X platform. Shout out to X. And we're cooler on X, ladies and gentlemen. If you're not following the socials, they're over there. When I saw that video, it hit me. You know, in the same way that I hope that it might have moved one or two of y'all. The idea is these characters / actors / avatars, right, are just digital persons, but they look and they sound a lot like we do. What's to say that things aren't real for them? You see where I'm going with this? I feel like I want to say it without saying it. You know what I mean? Put 2 and 2 together, it equals 5. Bang. All right. Not a whole lot of action in the chat. I was hoping we'd get a couple of opinions. A and T, not sure where you are, but that's all right. It's all good. It's worth thinking about. Nevertheless, we're putting you on game. Maybe you weren't so up on Google's new AI video capabilities. Maybe this has intrigued you. Russ Barber says, I didn't have to Google anything but YouTube videos when I put the hot tub in, baby. Come on. That's because his name is... Chucha says, no, you just want to say it without us laughing at your ass, silly boy. I don't think so. I'm not sure the context of that. First of all, shout out to Russ and Chucha. They got a new hot tub, all right? I wish I had hot tub loving. Shout out to 3PH. I can't wait to get that old hot tub for a test run, baby. I'm gonna jump on in that thing. Of course, I'm visiting in the summer. So that's not really when you want to jump in a hot tub, but I think it's cool that you got one. That's new, all that. Russ says, yeah, man, come on down. Bang. All right. Sincerely, more and more, I believe that this concept of a simulation is real. It's just what resonates very well with me. I have told you all this on the show at least a couple of times. The argument that I like to make is simply that in our lifetimes, we have witnessed video games, quote unquote, go from being simple pixelated games to literally virtual worlds where people can live and exist and do all these things. Now, there's no, I was gonna say there's no haptic feedback, right? You still exist in the quote unquote real world and you know, do things in these virtual environments, but I haven't tried them myself, where people put on rigs and, you know, goggles and suits and they walk on treadmills and then they really do kind of live in these virtual worlds. So just marinate on that. And then if you push the technology by thousands of years or millennia, as you know, wherever your mind wants to go with it, isn't it probable? Forget possible. Isn't it probable that we will create a virtual world? And then what's to say that world wouldn't be indistinguishable from our own, and we're living in that world. You see where I'm going? And then when you have AI that has only existed for a couple of years, and it has evolved so incredibly fast, right? And it's only getting better and better.
You just keep getting better and better.
It's just, in my opinion, a great likelihood. All right, I'm off the soapbox. AeroRising says, hot tub podcast, baby, chill. I mean, that would be, if it's just you and me in there, and maybe Russ and Chucha, it's a little weird, but I'm down, fuck it. IRL streams. All right, Chucha says, I thought you were gonna say, sincerely, I've been thinking more and more about moving home. Oh, that's so sweet. No, that's not what I was talking about, sorry. Russ says, do they have Corona in the virtual world? I think they do, Dad. Anything that your little heart can desire. Bang. Shout out to you, man. AeroRising says, you just described this show. Shit. Yeah, I did. You, me, my mom and dad. I get it. Hey, Carmen was here. Goddamn it. I'm gonna play her song again just to prove it. Yeah. All right. She's here. She's in the ER, saving lives. It's all good. We're doing great stuff. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if that was new to y'all. Doesn't matter. It was cool. And hopefully you saw a couple of clips that maybe you hadn't seen online yet. And you should know the future is here. Bang. Google's VO3. We putting you on the game. You're welcome. Chill. And Carmen says, I'm still here. Yes. Yes, she is. And I'm very glad you're here, Miss Carmen, because we've got a great segment coming up next, courtesy of AeroRising. Bang. Hell yeah. So hang out for just a second. I'm going to introduce that clip. But first, Chucha says, I've got the movie trailer cheat sheet pulled up. Well, I need you to hold on to that cheat sheet, girl, and I ain't even mad at you. You do that, sweetheart. I will say this. So for anybody that's new, and we'll tell you about it more so when we get to that segment in just a few minutes, the movie preview game is a very popular segment on the show, and it affords us to compete a little bit. It's a game, and you can win prizes, and it's a lot of fun. So hang out. That's coming up. Hopefully you've seen some new releases online. What I wanted to say was I could have chosen between like 5 or 6 different trailers today. All right, so you're gonna get no clues. I'm just gonna play it. It's gonna be fun. Bang, hang out. AeroRising says, I imagine her cheat sheet is the Moana 2 calendar. All 12 sheets, same shit. She's just like, I'm ready. I am ready. That's pretty good, Aunt, my man. Ladies and gentlemen, I said his name, and I'm so glad I did, because this next segment is courtesy of our guy, AeroRising. I'm gonna put you on blast, kid, because it's your government. I hope that's all right with you. His name is Anthony Nicholas Rising. We love him. He does great work. And I don't know, it was several weeks ago now. I don't know if it was probably over a month, but my guy, he and his wife, his lovely wife, Vero, shout out to her, they traveled to Argentina, and that's why he was absent from the show for a couple of weeks there, and that's sadly why we haven't had an Anthony's part of the show, but we've got one today. He delivered, and I'm about to play it for you. Bang. And then he says, now I'm gonna get deported on to Mexico. Because I put your government out there. Yeah, they can find you. Chucha says, the list does include Lilo and Stitch. All right, I gotta do it for her. What's her name?
Her name is Chucha. She's getting lit up in the chat.
Turning down the lo-fi, I want y'all to have the full effect. Ladies and gentlemen, this is quite literally Anthony's part of the show.
I'm Anthony. He's Anthony. It's Anthony's part of the show.
Welcome back, everybody. I hope you remember me, Anthony Rising. I know it's been a while, and I'm sorry, but I have a good excuse. I was all the way down in Argentina with my wife for 2 weeks. Now, the traveling part of it sucked, but once I got there, it was okay. It was nothing special, you know. I'm still an American at the end of the day. But I wanted to put this clip together to bring you guys along, let you see part of Argentina with me. So sit back, relax, and enjoy this Anthony's part of the show. See you guys out there.
Ah.
Y es una técnica muy antigua, se define pampa. It is an ancient technique from the Pampas Aborigines. Exacto.
¿Y cada uno de estos algo significa los símbolos o es...? Sí.
Esta vuelta mensual poco de azúcar, 85, si no, no le va a gustar nada.
Oh yeah. That's a good girl.
Tie game. It's getting intense. This is like watching the WNBA. Oh!
That's what I'm talking about.
Paola beat her in bowling. She beats her in air hockey. Last day, last morning, decided to finally come up to the rooftop of the apartment we're staying at. And let's take you through this side. Bathroom. Come up here with some friends, eat. Look at this right here. Open this up. Relaxing. And then this is the other side.
That was dope. Hand claps one more time. Give it up to my guy, AeroRising. Looks like you had an amazing adventure, man. I'm so happy for you, bro. And thank you for sharing that with us, dog. Anthony's part of the show. I'm with y'all, man. That food looked amazing. Delicioso. I want to give some acknowledgments in the chat. There was a lot going on during that video. In hindsight, I should have put the chat, I should have superimposed the chat above the video so y'all could have seen that. I guess that's my bad. But I didn't want to take away from the video either. Normally, Anthony's part of the show, the segments are a little shorter, but this one was cool. So again, shout out. But Chucha says she's ready to go. Says Tuesday is Argentinian dinner at Chucha and Russ's house. Come on.
Her name is Chucha. She's getting lit up in the chat.
And Carmen says Argentine tango is the most beautiful tango dancing she has ever seen. High praise from our resident dancer. Bang. That's pretty cool. Russ says everything has cheese on it. He likes that. Of course he does. Me too, man. All right, here we go. Ant says, got another country for y'all next show. Let's go. Another Anthony's part of the show, perhaps.
I'm Anthony. He's Anthony. It's Anthony's part of the show.
Chucha says, Russ and I want to go beaches, no hurricanes, no problems. All right. Miami to Montevideo. Pay for my flight, and I got us a free place to stay. Ant says. So I called that segment Gauchos, Grouch-o, and Milanesa. I hope you dig that, Brody. All right, very cool. Thank you again, ladies and gentlemen. That was Anthony's part of the show, and he told you his full name, so now I don't feel so bad about it. All right. Coming up next is that time of the show. Y'all want it, you gonna get it. It is gonna be the movie preview game. But first, we've been streaming for a minute now. Gonna take a little break. Matter of fact, let me take you to the lobby. You can top up your drinks, your popcorn, all that good stuff.
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby.
Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Delicious things to eat.
The popcorn can't be beat. The sparkling drinks are just dandy. The chocolate bars and the candy. So let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Bang! We're back, just like that. I hope you dug that. That's our little movie preview game intro. Okay? It's a throwback. Throwback. All right. Ant says, not a black person at the theater. Ain't that a damn... It's fucked up. Believe it or not, I had that same thought when I first downloaded it. I was like, maybe this is not okay. And I was like, fuck it. It's an old cartoon. Who gives a shit? You know what I mean? So I went with it, but it's still funny to me. Chucha says, Tyson heard treat, and he's looking in the lobby. That's cute. Tyson is their dog, just to clear that air. AeroRising says, we know what the deal was. They were there, in the back. It's fucked up. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, a couple of things to do on stream. First of all, R&B, if you would, test the game and show them what they're playing for.
We testing the game. Oh yeah.
That's right. On screen now, ladies and gentlemen, is the one-of-one exclusive movie preview game titled Strap. The belt, ladies and gentlemen, the belt. And when you're the movie preview game champion, when you've won last, we should say, you are the champ. And so, ladies and gentlemen, help me bring him to the stage. Your 19-time champ, playing for a record-breaking 20 wins today. Come on. There he is. AeroRising. Tell him, man. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, AeroRising is the 19-time champ. Give it up. And to prove that, I've also got the movie preview game leaderboard. That's what it looks like. So shout out to all of our former champions. You can see their name on the list. It's a short list, sadly. Maybe we'll get to add a new name today. But maybe not, says the champ. All right, Carmen Sandiego, one more time for you, girl. Yeah. You're on there. Shout out to you. All right, so there's that. Coming up next is the gradient. Show it to them, baby. Show them what they playing with. Bang! When you see it on screen, that colored gradient frame, it means R&B is gonna play you a video. And in this segment, it is your movie preview game trailer. Carmen says, I won one time. You did that. Look, he's a tough champ to beat, but everyone's eligible. I hope y'all have looked at some movie trailers in the last couple of weeks. AeroRising says, I already went and saw Mission Impossible though. Guess if I can win, I can go see the new Jurassic. Reluctantly. Yep. Mission Impossible, I'm so jealous that you got to see it. I haven't seen that yet, so I can't review it, but I will. And when I do, I hope you're in the stream and we can talk all about that, man. Bang. But maybe you've got a leg up on some of our other contestants. I don't know, having seen some trailers in person. But that's right, I should tell you all that when you win the movie preview game on this show,
we testing the game.
You're not just playing for pride and bragging rights, right? Well, that's cool too. But if you win 3 times, and it doesn't have to be in sequential order either. If you just win 3 times, that's why we got the leaderboard. R&B is gonna take you to the movies.
Bang, bang, bang.
Shit like that. So he's playing for a 20-time record-breaking figure. And so if he wins today, ladies and gentlemen, A&T is going back to the movies.
You like popcorn. Makes your teeth go.
AeroRising, there's a lot happening in the chat. AeroRising says, there were like 8 of them bitches. He's talking about the trailers. Yeah, they do that when you're at the theaters. They show you a lot of ads, a lot of movies. I love it though. I'm done with the popcorn before the movie begins. He also says he's in an ad. That sucks, but that's okay. Don't worry. Don't worry. I'm gonna wait. I see it. It ends in 22 seconds. Just hang on the line, baby. We're gonna wait for our champion. Of course we will. He deserves that at the very least. All right. He says now's their chance. No, we're waiting. Don't worry about it. Matter of fact, we're gonna be live in 6, 5, 4. And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. You missed it, bro. You missed the preview game. It was a good one. Sorry, dog. Just kidding. Just kidding. And can you still hear me talking when the ads are playing, or no? The ads take over. I would guess you can't, because ads are audio and visual, Ryan. You know what I'm saying? Chucha says, more time to watch trailers, though. I was studying my ass off over here. Had the Moana calendar out. You cannot. Thank you for that. I figured you couldn't, so that's okay. I'm just talking to myself, as per usual. She's not in the chat, but a friend of mine who I train with sometimes, I saw her at the gym yesterday, and she was with somebody else, and he happens to do podcasting, and I was telling him about our show, and what we talking about, I was like, really, I just like to hear myself think, and she was like, yeah, you do. And I fucked that all up. Let's rewind. Really, I just like to hear myself talk. Anyway, all right, don't know why I told y'all that. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the movie preview game. I'm gonna turn down the lo-fi, and I'm gonna play this week's trailer. You get no hints, you get nothing from me other than the play button. I hope you all are ready. Remember the rules of the game. You have to say the full title of the film. You have to spell it right now. I can't say too much. I will be the judge, so I will acknowledge who I think is rightfully the winner. You gotta be first, and if it's a sequel or a trilogy or something like that, you gotta say the full title, okay? It can't just be Bad Boys 2. Matter of fact, it could be, but it isn't. Bad boys, what you gonna do? Okay, all right. Without further ado, I know you all are chomping at the bit. Good luck, contestants. Shout out to the champion. He's playing for 20 times, ladies and gentlemen. This is your movie preview game.
There's more to life than just making money.
We love it.
It's integrity. That's what you stand for.
You should know who that is
it's
already.
What you actually believe in.
Hey, bang!
Do you believe in yourself?
Revenge!
Do you believe you'll be successful?
You're the best!
My man. That's it. Spike Lee,
the
baby.
hard times will come from the good times. The hard times will come from success. The hard times will come from the money, and the mayhem follows.
No guesses just yet, huh? You don't know about this one.
So can you handle the mayhem? Can you handle the money? Can you handle the success? Can you handle the failure? Can you handle the lovers? Can you handle the memes? Can you handle everything that there is in between?
There it is. He's the 20-time champ,
That's
ladies
the
and gentlemen. And he even spelled it correctly with the numeric. Shout out to you, man. There it is.
All money ain't good money.
All money ain't good money. Cheers! And it's your 20-time win, dog. I'm going to pause for the cause. What would you like to hear as your theme song? We don't normally do this live, but if you can type it in real quick, man, you know the buttons I got. If there's something specific you want to hear, you've got a few seconds or I'm going to choose. The world is waiting, brother. Nothing. Fuck it. You gonna get what I get.
Are you ready? Hey, think you could tell us what to do?
We are officially not monetized.
You think you could tell us what to wear?
Come on. You think that you're better?
You think that you're better?
You better get ready.
Well, you better get ready.
There is a lag in the chat. Sorry, dog.
Bow to the master.
Tell him, homie.
Break it down.
Bang! Show your love, ladies and gentlemen. 20-time champion. That's impressive. All right? I don't care who you are. That is impressive. So, ladies and gentlemen, our very own AeroRising is going back to the movies. Hell yeah. Hand claps one more time. Congratulations, Brody. I'm so glad you knew that. To the rest of our challengers, sorry about you, but it was a good movie. I'll acknowledge what was said in the chat. AeroRising says Spike Lee, Justin Cons, courtside at the Knicks game. Matter of fact, let's do this. I can throw up this. Bang. Highest to lowest, ladies and gentlemen, starring none other than Denzel Washington. I'll tell you a little bit about it and I'll go back to the chat. We've mentioned this, but I'll say it again. It's a Spike Lee joint. Shout out. Starring Denzel. And if you didn't know that, I think there's an interview you can find somewhere where his name is actually Denzel. But I think his daddy has the same name, and so his mama called him Denzel. All right, don't quote me, but I think so. But anyway, shit. His mama named him Clay, I'ma call him Clay. Denzel, baby. Jeffrey Wright. This is a very tough name, but worth mentioning. Ilfenish Hadera. Sorry if I'm saying that wrongly. It's a tough one when you read it. ASAP Rocky. Bang. Looks like a cool movie. Here's the synopsis, short and sweetly. When a Titan music mogul is targeted with a ransom plot, he is jammed up in a real life or death moral dilemma. Bang! Pun intended. Highest to lowest. I'm excited about it. I think it's coming out on Apple TV. All right, so maybe not a movie, but the trailer was dope. And I mean, Denzel don't miss. Come on, y'all. Denzel? All right, going back. AeroRising says, significant too. I thought I was gonna lose, but you didn't, baby. You're the champ. You're the champ's champ. And then he says, all y'all had to do was watch every Knicks playoffs game and you too would have known. It makes a lot of sense that they'd be promoting this film during a Knicks game. One, I think that's a generalized target audience. Two, Spike Lee, obviously. And then, I don't know if Denzel reps for New York, but maybe. I don't know. Maybe. That'd be LA. I don't know. I should be asking y'all. Chucha says, would I have to like basketball for that? Huh? Would I have to? Not really. It's the playoffs. Playoffs. All right. AeroRising says, Game 1 of Knicks-Pacers Eastern Conference Finals was actually the most watched EFC of all time. So, it's been popping. Well, thank you for that. You knew I didn't know that, so shout out to you, Aero. He's mainly Lakers, but Knicks too. See? Ryan's trying, baby. You know, I put myself in the mind of a... Anyway. I hope y'all enjoyed that one. I'm looking forward to this film, as I hope you are as well. Shout out to our champion, AeroRising. Might as well do it for you just because we can. He's the champ, ladies and gentlemen. He's the 20-time champion. Come on. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, that was the movie preview game. Coming up next is Ryan's movie series review. However, there's a little asterisk on this one today. Sometimes we get to do what's called a mega movie review. Well, guess what, class? Today, it is a super mega movie review.
Bang,
bang, bang.
Shit like that. What does that mean? It means I've got no less than 10 movie titles to tell y'all about. And we're gonna do that when we get back right after this montage.
It's only a movie.
Just look over your shoulders, honey.
Yeah!
Good morning, Vietnam!
Nobody puts baby in a corner.
I don't even own a gun, let alone many guns that would necessitate an entire rack.
Snakes? Snakes. I don't know no snakes.
Well, I got a number. How do you like them apples?
My name is Inigo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die.
Hey, you guys!
Enjoy your remaining years.
I will. Enjoy fucking jewels.
I will.
Dad,
Veronica Vaughn is one piece of ace.
The snozberries taste like snozberries.
Oh, righty then.
Get your popcorn ready.
Testing the game.
Let's go! Ladies and gentlemen, Ryan's movie series review, and it is gonna be a doozy. All right, a couple of comments in the chat. Ed says, 1, I don't have Apple TV, although I might get the free month. It's a whole thing. I feel you, Brody. Chooch is ready. Ed says, 1 would think there's going to be one good thing you watch, but I'm still not convinced. I'll address that in a second. And then he says, back before streaming, all these trailers when movies were better. And they were, brother, they were better and better, as a matter of fact.
You just keep getting better and better.
Shout out to you, Brody. So, Ryan's movie series review. Sometimes we watch sports documentaries on this show. And then sometimes the sports docs aren't really sports docs, but they are documentaries. And then we start with those, or we start with stand-up. That way we get those out the way, and then we can kind of give review critique, so to speak, for things that are more same. Movies, series, and the like. But if it's a doc, it's hard to compare a doc to a film. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna kick things off with 2 of those. Bang. All right. And this series of documentaries, again, typically sports themed, is one that has recurred many times on the show. I think they do good work, quite frankly. It's called Untold, and it's available on Netflix. And the first title out today is Untold, the Liver King. Bang. Now, there's 10 titles to tell y'all about today, so I'm gonna run through these rather quickly. All right, so here we go. And if you've seen any of these, please feel free to leave a comment. Let me know what you thought. We can talk about it a little bit. The more banter, the more time we spend on each title. Otherwise, R&B's just gonna race through it, all right?
We testing the game.
Shit.
Oh, yeah.
Here we go. I told you it was available on Netflix. The synopsis of this one is that it is a documentary profiling Brian Johnson, aka the Liver King, who gained online fame promoting a raw meat diet and ancestral lifestyle. It explores his rise to internet stardom, the controversies surrounding his health claims, and the personal costs of viral fame. AeroRising says, Veronica put that on. We turned it over 78 seconds in. Damn. Well, it was interesting. I found it entertaining. I'll tell you a little more about it. Chucha says, we have not seen this. Bang. Well, I love when you haven't seen something, and I think it's worth watching. Let's appreciate these first 2 titles out the gate. It's not a fair comparison, so I'm just going to tell you about them. You can watch them or not, but I do like Untold a lot. I think they do great work, and this is fascinating. So if you don't know this guy, the Liver King, he became famous online because he promoted this raw diet and this ancestral lifestyle, as I mentioned. And he told everybody that he wasn't on steroids. Okay, so spoiler alert. Yeah, of course you're on steroids, motherfucker. Look at you, dog. But he was selling supplements and a lifestyle. He was like a lifestyle coach to people based on this concept. Now, Chucha says, does he eat raw liver? He does. As a matter of fact, he eats more than raw liver. I don't want to tell you too much, but there's scenes within the show, and you hate to use a word like brainwash, right? But his family, he has imposed this lifestyle upon them. And I say it that way because I'm not convinced that his sons aren't like unwell a little bit, okay? I'm not trying to cast judgment. I'm just worried for them. They're not nearly as buff as this motherfucker, you know what I'm saying? And they're doing some of the same shit. So he makes them work out and all that. Now, I'm all about health and promoting it in the like, but he basically, they kill a cow or something, or a fucking bull, something like that. And then they cut up the intestines and they make them eat like the testicles and shit live. Like, it's like, no, it's kind of gross. But it's interesting, you know what I'm saying? And again, I think the reason I was watching was because I was familiar with this guy based on all the social media promo and videos that were, you know, Liver King, he's a character, he's a fucking wrestler, as a matter of fact. I don't know who he is, but, you know, he's giving that kind of vibe. And then he was telling people he was clean and he wasn't doing steroids and all this shit. And then they had a blood test done, and of course it came back. And motherfucker, dirty as a goddamn old sink. So it was fascinating and certainly worth the watch. Russ says, "What a guy!" Y'all, fucking Russ, man. You should check it out. I think you'll enjoy it. If nothing else, then the novelty of it all. And he's a character, man. The Liver King. Chucha says, I probably won't be watching. No, you should check it out. I think you'll enjoy it, at least from the, the documentarian in you. You'll dig it. It was an interesting watch. This guy, a character and a half. I do kind of feel bad for the family. I'm not sure if they should be doing some of the same things. Let them make their own choices. You know what I'm saying? But okay, who am I to judge? Okay. Nevertheless, Chucha said, both of y'all names are purple on my side. So AeroRising says, intestines. Meanwhile, I'm over here worried about what Chucha's making on Tuesday. Good one. Gotta love that. Chucha also says, I have documentary standards, okay? I respect it. I think you'll like it. Again, very well done. Untold does good work. That was The Liver King. Check it out. Available now on Netflix. In keeping with the Untold documentary series, ladies and gentlemen, this is definitely one that everyone, maybe not Carmen, but everyone in the chat, I think, will appreciate. Ladies and gentlemen, your number 2 today, The Fall of Favre. Ladies and gentlemen, Brett Favre. I said Favre intentionally in case anybody watches it, like, he said his name wrong. I didn't. It's fine. All right, AeroRising says, don't do it, Chucha. You hold strong. Don't you watch that. AeroRising, well played. I love it. I better get the mention here. Hold tight, Brody. Okay, what is this? I'm going to tell you all about it. Ladies and gentlemen, this is an in-depth look at NFL quarterback Brett Favre's career and the scandals that have marred his legacy. It features insights from Michael Vick. This film examines issues of privilege and public perception in sports. Now, let me say this. Hopefully y'all know, if you don't know the name Brett Favre, all right, get the hell out of my chat. My Norwegian family, you're exempt, but if you're American and you don't know Brett Favre, all right, bang. Brett Favre is considered to be, correct me if I'm wrong, AeroRising, but he's considered to be one of the greatest NFL quarterbacks of all time. I think we can say that openly. One of. I don't know, maybe top 10 at least, I would think. I didn't know there was so much fucking controversy surrounding this guy, man. What? Jesus Christ. But it was insightful for me in that sense. Now, everybody watching knows my scope of sports is super narrow, very limited. Now, I know Brett Favre. But it was interesting. AeroRising says, yep, on the cusp of 10. So I passed that. Thank you so much. You could probably rattle off. Chucha says, Brett is a GOAT. Bang. I'll give you a GOAT, maybe. Can you be a GOAT? Fuck yeah, you can. All right, we'll give it to him. AeroRising, all the controversy is really towards the end of his career and after. Yeah, I feel that too, and I've seen the doc, so I can speak to that. Since we're here, let's go on ahead and do this. There was a certain individual that got a lot of shine in this documentary, and as a matter of fact, AeroRising and I know her. What? Yeah, she's a woman now, but she was a girl when we knew her by the name of Jen Sturger. Jen Sturger rose quickly to fame, and this was like right as social media was just budding, okay? So we knew her at college. She attended Florida State University, as a matter of fact, and she, I believe, is credited to be one of the original FSU Cowgirls. And if you know, you know. So apparently old Brett got caught up with this girl on the sideline now, and everyone's defense, she's a cutie. But watch this. This is a true story. I had statistics with this young lady back when it was before J-Lo. It was just, hey ho. We had statistics. She was cute, and we talked. As it turns out, she lived with her grandmother right up the road from where we all stay. Okay, so she lived in Killarn. We just friends. It was a summer class. But Brett, I've got news for you, dog. Oh, Mr. Steal Your Girl, cuz. Hold on, wait for it.
I got this prediction, ain't no more
wait
wishing.
For it.
Hold on tight, girl, here's what I
Look
see.
at your boy, he had her back when, bang. So on screen is my guy AeroRising and none other than Miss Jen Sturger. They were out and about. He could tell the story if he wants to, but anyway, this young lady gets a lot of shine. As it turns out, Brett was texting her. Now, to her credit, they never met personally, as I understand it, and so it was just a lot of hoopla, but I think Brett was married at the time, and that's not a good look, Brett. So anyway, shout out to AeroRising. He knew Jen Sturger back when. All right, there you go. Chucha says, is she available for Ryan now? Don't know, don't want to know. Moving right along. AeroRising says, I had something that rose quickly too when I was with her. Hey! Missed that. Papa Doc, Papa Clock, Papa Trailer. Chucha says, hey, goats come in all colors. Don't know the relevance. All right. Moving right along. The doc is actually pretty good. It was insightful for me. There's also controversy about, like, I don't know if it's money laundering or like spending money that he shouldn't be spending. That's more accurate. I'm clapping just because I got it right. Not money laundering as much as it's like his daughter plays volleyball or played volleyball for a university or a college. And somehow this like nonprofit organization bought a goddamn new gym. So check it out. Spoiler alert. AeroRising says, I don't know if Ryan wants that now. Moving right along. Chucha says, I'll watch that. Yes, you should. Ant says, I think he was taking money from basically welfare programs in Mississippi. That's exactly what he was doing. That's why I love having you on the show. You know so much. So yeah, I think just as AeroRising pointed out, he said he was taking money from welfare programs in Mississippi, and then I think they were giving some of that money to the school that his daughter went to. Sounded a little like this. Nevertheless, poor Brett, man, he got into some trouble, got into some hot water at the tail end of his football career. Now, in my opinion, that doesn't take away from his greatness on the field, and I think that's part of what the documentary highlights. There's a lot of people, particularly in old Wisconsin, that still see Brett Favre as the GOAT and that guy. So shout out to them. Chucha says, Ryan wants something. You lost me there. And the same with Ted DiBiase Jr. I wish I had Ted DiBiase's soundbite. We need to get that. And that'll be that could be your 20 win intro. You know what I'm saying? All right, one more time. Ladies and gentlemen, that was Untold, The Fall of Favre. All right, so we got the sports docs out of the way. Next up, we're only talking about movies and or TV series. All right, there's a lot happening in the chat. I'm gonna go ahead and get this. Replying to Chucha and says, I mean, I'm sure he would still try to lay it down for a night or two, but that's not marriage material. Damn, y'all are going hard on old Jen Sturger. Let that girl live, let her live. Shout out to Florida State, baby. And says, my story with me and her, that's the real untold story. Hey, Untold. All right, moving right along. Chucha says, what do you want from someone who thinks wearing a cube of cheese on your head is good? She talking about them cheese heads and old Green Bay. I hear you. And says, you don't want to go reverse cowgirl. Get it? All right. Good stuff. But pretty cool nevertheless. I was watching the doc and I was like, look at this bitch on here. And again, I knew her back when she was just going to FSU. It's funny how one little broadcast changed that girl's whole life. You know what I'm saying? And then, sadly, these texts kind of fucked it up. So the Lord giveth and the Lord... easy come, easy go.
That's what she said.
All right. Now, remember, I typically start you off with the ones that I didn't love so much, all right? Not that great, sadly. And we do, unfortunately, watch a lot of bad movies on this because they're just not. They're not great. I go into it wanting them to be decent. I didn't turn them on because I thought it was bad. I thought, you know what? I'll give it a shot. Maybe there was someone in the film that I really like, or maybe the concept, or maybe I just was like, you know what? I'm in the vibe for a run and gun, shoot 'em up action flick. Let's do this thing. 8 times out of 10, they're pretty shitty. But I'll watch them and I'll tell you all about them. And says she tried out for WWE. That does not surprise me, as a matter of fact. But you know what she had?
No chance, so that's what you got.
Thanks for teeing that up for me. I appreciate you. And says no mention there, huh? Come on, man. you lost me. No mention there. So that was just so. Okay, I'm not sure. Remember, while I'm talking and y'all are chatting, it's hard for me to keep up. It was about WWE. Proceed. Bang.
Got a Superman bench that I scored from
Wrong
Shaq.
button.
With a
Happy
old
accident.
school caddy with the
Diamonds in the back. I hit you with the Vince McMahon. Come on, we brought it all back, baby. Brought it all back. All right. Dad, I think you might dig this one just because, again, it's one of those ones you put on screen, you know, mindless entertainment. It does, however, have some cool people in it. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, this one is called Tin Soldier. Tin Soldier. And you can see on the poster why I might have thought, hey, this could be good. It stars Scott Eastwood, Jamie Foxx, and old Bobby De Niro. AeroRising says Havoc. I don't know what context that is. Chucha says, I want to know if you like the flick. God damn, maybe the chat is super out of sync today. Could it be that? That's how I know we're so different in this regard. Okay, I'm just gonna assume from here on out everybody's up on this. He says, I see the poster and I laugh right now away. I'm not watching that. Okay, now, wait a second. In my defense, thank you. This is not the poster that I saw, okay? For real. There's an alternative poster. I chose this one for the chat today so that you would see that Jamie Foxx, Robert De Niro was in it, okay? The poster that I saw was very artistically done. It's mostly black, no jokes to be made, and it's like a silhouette of Scott Eastwood's face, and it just says Tin Soldier. So very abstract, very, you don't really know what you're getting. And then the plot synopsis, which I'll read for you, was enough for me to go, I'll try. And I saw the names Jamie Foxx and Robert De Niro, right? So I didn't see this poster, buddy, but funny of you to mention that. And look at Russ. I knew this was gonna be up your alley, Dad. Pause. AeroRising says, shit, I'd rather watch an old episode of Rin Tin Tin, motherfucker. Good one. Rin Tin Tin. All right. I'm glad you watched it, Dad, because I thought of you when I was watching this movie for some reason. I was like, you know what? My dad would like this. Here's what it's all about, ladies and gentlemen. Directed by Brad Furman and starring Jamie Foxx, Robert De Niro, and Scott Eastwood, as I mentioned. The synopsis is a government agent, played by Jamie Foxx, confronts a cult-like militia led by a mysterious figure, Robert De Niro, who recruits veterans into his cause. The film delves into themes of loyalty, purpose, and the fine line between heroism and fanaticism. Ladies and gentlemen, Tin Soldier. I wish I had beat by beat, but no, I got this. Beat by beat. Never mind. If you don't know, you don't know. And then Chucha says, don't diss the dog. Rin Tin Tin? Yeah, I wasn't dissing. He'd rather watch Rin Tin Tin. AeroRising says, I can almost guarantee my dad watched it too, but he watches every goddamn thing. Well, it was worth a watch. I will say this, like 20 minutes into it, I was like, what are we doing? Come on, Rye. But then I thought, well, look, it'll be good content for the show. And here we are. Good content for the show. Chucha was a Lassie girl. She was. Aww. Hey, shout out to Dorothy one time. Dorothy and I used to watch Lassie. Well, you know, Lassie and Flipper, those were wholesome shows. You know what I mean? You just don't see shit like that no more. Okay, moving right along. Tin Soldier, honestly, pretty terrible. But we watched it because we do shit like that. We testing the game.
We testing the game.
Chucha says, yep, and I chose not to watch that silly movie. All right, moving right along. This next one, I think this one's up both Chucha's alley and AeroRising's alley, no puns intended. I'll show you the poster and we'll tell you all about it. It's based on a true story, ladies and gentlemen, and you probably know, I know my fan band knows the story, but anybody else, you might not, but here it is. The Luckiest Man in America. Now, if you're seeing the poster, I really like this guy. His name is Paul Walter Hauser. In fact, Mom, Dad, you might remember we watched a movie together starring this guy. And I think he's a great actor, let me say that, but he plays these like, I don't know, like creepy, I don't know if this is the right sound, like creepy characters, especially in the film we were watching. He's like a serial killer in that one. But anyway, in this one, it is set in 1984 and based on a true story. An unemployed man exploits a game show's loophole to win big. Challenging the system and his own morals, it is a satirical take on the American dream and media manipulation. Directed by Samir Oliveros, and again starring Paul Walter Hauser, also Walton Goggins, shout out to him, Shamir Anderson, and David Strathairn. I don't know if I said that correctly, but you'll know him in the film when you see him. AeroRising says, she watched Mr. Ed too. What kind of name is Ed for a horse? What kind of name is Wilbur for a man? You love that one. I butchered it, but I tried for you, brother. Chucha says, what game? Chucha, I'm gonna tell you. Ladies and gentlemen, the game show was Press Your Luck. It's not this, but it's close. All right. Yeah, and I wrote this down for you all because I was anticipating the question. This really happened, ladies and gentlemen. In fact, I don't know if it was a 60 Minutes story on this one time or if it was like a separate documentary, but it was a real life scandal surrounding a guy named Michael Larson. He was a contestant on a game show called Press Your Luck who won a large sum of money to the tune of like $110,000. Wait for it. Which is ironic because in today's time on game shows, you gotta win like $1 million for it to matter. But anyway, back then 100 grand was a lot. And this was back in 1984. So what he did was, and this is what the movie reflects, is he memorized the patterns on this game board. So in the game Press Your Luck, and in hindsight, I wish I had a graphic for you. Imagine like a big television frame, right? And there are little squares surrounding the border of the frame, and then but it's all different patterns. And the idea is you want no whammies. Wait for it. Bang. Whammies are like basically like bankrupt. You hear this? All right. Somehow he memorized the patterns well enough to know like when it hit the top right or bottom left. If he hit the button, you see he's holding the button in the screen in the graphic, it would stop and it would be like big money. And so he just kept doing that. And in the game show, you only have so many spins and you have passes. The idea is like eventually the odds are you're gonna hit the whammy. So you might want to keep the money you've gotten and pass it right along. Well, he knew the pattern, and so he never did that. And so he accumulated more money, I think, than anybody else on the show ever did. A couple of comments in the chat. Chucha says, I remember that game and I love The Price is Right. Now they give away $150,000 in the early round. Shit, we need tickets. I ain't mad at you, girl. He also says, if he can memorize the patterns, he deserves to win. And see, I happen to agree. They accuse him of cheating. And that's part of this backstory in the film is like, you can imagine the producers are freaking out. Like, nobody's ever done this. How is he doing this shit? He must be cheating. You must have somebody on the inside. Well, it's a fascinating concept. And let me say, look, this comes up as number 2 on our list today. It's not a great movie. I didn't love the movie, even though I love some of the actors. Shout out to Walton Goggins one time. From a movie standpoint, I was like, come on. But the reason I watched it in the first place was like, oh, I know the story. Oh, and you can see the screen very tiny on your screens, what I'm talking about there. So you can see the big square and the little graphics. Okay. CBS, this is the network CBS, on which the show aired in the US for my Norwegian fan bam. They initially refused to pay this guy. Again, they suspected he was cheating, but eventually they did pay him out after the investigation. The scandal highlighted how the game, seemingly random, had predictable patterns, which Larson exploited to his advantage. So shout out to Larson, man. It's not cheating. It's fucking strategy. So shout out to him. Chucha says, but that's not cheating. It's the object of the game. Exactly. Bang. Her name is Chucha.
Her name is Chucha. She's getting lit up in the chat.
So, the luckiest man in America. Maybe we've now tickled your fancy with that, isn't it?
That's what she said.
Enjoy it. It was decent. Not great. I didn't love it, but it was worth watching. This next one, and honestly, I could have put this title before the last one. It was about a 50-50 split for me. I just didn't want to do 2 action joints back to back. See what I did there with the action joint? Matter of fact, I think I got something else. He's never in the chat, sadly. Chopper. Shout out to Big Chopper one time. If you ever watch this on YouTube, Brody, we appreciate you, man. All right. And we'd love to have you in the chat. Come on. This next one is a sequel, though I wasn't sure if it was or it wasn't. And thankfully, they mentioned it about 15, 20 minutes into the film. I was like, all right, cool. Because I was hoping it was. That was the entire reason I saw it. It's also not a newer title, which I didn't know either. It's new to me, damn it, and y'all are gonna get it. It's called The Inside Man Most Wanted. I should do this just because.
Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you?
I'm gonna let it ride, too. Why not?
What you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Nobody now give you no break. Police now give you no break.
Okay, hand claps. Directed by MJ Bassett, it stars Emil Amin, Rhea Seehorn, and Roxanne McKinney. I didn't know any of these actors. I didn't, but I gave it a shot. I watched the trailer before I watched it, because you can do that on the Plex. Shout out to the Plex. Here's the synopsis, and I read this too, and I thought, oh, this would be cool. Again, hold that thought. It's a sequel to the 2006 film Inside Man. That film stars none other than Denzel Washington, Clive Owen, Jodie Foster, okay? So, yeah, that film was incredibly great, and I was like, well, if it's a sequel, I might need to go on ahead and watch this thing. So I did. I think it came out in 99, which is also a little, you know, I only really talk about newer titles on the show, but fuck it. I watched it, so you get it. It's a thriller that follows an NYPD negotiator, and for that, he did a good job. I enjoyed his wit and his banter. And federal agent as they attempt to thwart a heist at the Federal Reserve. While connected to the original film, it stands on its own with new characters and plot lines back. In some ways, I felt like they were just trying to recreate the same movie. I mean, and in that respect, it sucked. It could have been way better. And ultimately, I'm not disappointed that I watched it. I was glad to have added that title to my repertoire, so to speak. But it wasn't a good movie. I would, unless you're desperate and need something to watch, check it out. Dad, you might dig it just because it's a heist and all that jazz. But nevertheless, it came up on the list. I saw it. It was kind of an accident. There it is. Inside Man, Most Wanted. Bang. Chucha says, I'm out on that one. I don't blame you, darling. I don't blame you. Okay. Moving right along. I told you, ladies and gentlemen, this is a super mega movie review. Super because we have 10 titles. We've talked about a few. We've got a few more to go. Russ says, I might watch. My man, do it, brother. Again, entertaining. It was enough. If you remember the first one, there's a connection there. So check it out. You'll see it. All right. This next one, better than the last. Again, not great, but I like these guys. So here it comes, ladies and gentlemen. This one is called Neighborhood Watch. Pretty dope poster, I thought. Very artistic. Wasn't sure what to expect from him, but I really, really like Jack Quaid. We've talked about him many times on the show. I think he did a great job in this. He usually plays like a real quirky kind of character, but it's good. I also think Jeffrey Dean Morgan does a great job, and shout out to Malin Ackerman as well. You might know her from a little Ben Stiller movie called The Heartbreak Kid. So she gets a mention. Swedish, I believe. Here's the synopsis. A mentally ill man believes he has witnessed a kidnapping and teams up with his gruff neighbor to investigate. The film blends psychological thriller elements with a study of unlikely friendships. Did he say... You get it. I had to do it. Clap that up. Directed by Duncan Skiles. It was all right. Hey, it was all right. This one I would watch. Mom, Dad, I think you both would dig it. And I think you'd like it too. It's kind of a whodunit. They piece it all together. It's a little over the top. It's a little like that shit would never happen in real life. But entertaining, fun. They have good chemistry. It's kind of quirky and cute. Ladies and gentlemen, Neighborhood Watch. moving this thing right along. I told you we got a lot of titles. We've already been streaming for an hour and 42 minutes.
We testing the game. Oh yeah.
Russ says, I'm a maybe. All right, well, I promise you, there'll come a time where you need something to watch. You'll see that title, you'll think of us, and maybe you'll dig it. I think you both would like it, as a matter of fact. This next one, I wish he was here, because I think this has his name written all over it.
Federico, Fede.
And you'll know why when I show you the poster. Ladies and gentlemen, Minecraft. A Minecraft movie. Now look, I knew going into this it was gonna be silly and over the top. It's a fucking kids movie, okay? It's a kids flick. But I had to watch it. I'm a movie watcher. I gotta report the news to y'all. You know what I'm saying? We testing the game. Here we go. Now, let me also say, I've never played Minecraft. I have a respect for it. I have an appreciation for global phenomenon. I think this qualifies. It's a game, as I understand it, like a computer game, right? Mostly kids play it, and you build, hey, keeping with our theme before, virtual worlds, okay? But it's pretty cool. Let me tell you what the film is about. It is a live-action adaptation of the popular video game. A group of misfits is transported into the Minecraft universe and must navigate its challenges to return home. It's a family-friendly adventure celebrating creativity and teamwork. All right? Minecraft, ladies and gentlemen. There's like an in-game joke. They yearn for the mines. Okay, I think that's it. And so to their credit, the filmmakers, it's like a culture, right? Minecraft culture. And so there's a lot of references of that culture in the movie. Like there's something called a chicken jockey. I don't know. It's apparently hilarious to some. It all went over my head a little bit. But I do respect highly some of the stars. Ladies and gentlemen, Jason Momoa, Jack Black, Emma Myers, Daniel Brooks, to name a few. Directed by Jared Hess. It's a family flick. It was cool. It was cute. It was enough. I mean, it was a little silly. There's some 80s reference in there. I don't know if this applies. We're going to give it to you.
Perfect. You win. Perfect.
If you know, you know. Chucha says, the best you have to offer so far is Brett Favre's and Anthony's college cowgirl. Come on, Rye Guy. Look, I told y'all they weren't gonna be good primarily, okay? You give me some slack. Sometimes you gotta watch them just because this is a very popular film amongst young adults and maybe teenagers and children, as I understand it. So in order for me to stay culturally relevant, you know what I'm saying? I gotta know what's going on. You gotta watch. Now when it comes up in conversation, yeah, I've seen Minecraft, of course. Did I love it? No. Was it for me? No. Did I watch it? Yeah. I'm a movie watcher. All right, there you go. We're off this. I think Shadow 1311 would have had a little more to say, but sadly, he's working. Okay, moving right along. They're gonna get better from here, ladies and gentlemen. You're welcome. You're welcome. It's a super mega movie review. I've got 3 more titles, and I personally, and I say that intentionally, and I'll explain why in a second, I personally loved every single one of them. All right, now let me put a huge asterisk in front of this one because, Mom, this is definitely not gonna be to your liking, okay? You don't even need to worry about it, sweetheart. This is not for you. It's for the guys. Ladies and gentlemen, this one is called Bad Thoughts. My dude, Tom Segura. AeroRising, if you're there, man, I need you on this one. Dad, I think you'll get a kick out of this one. It's hilarious. It's hilarious. It's available on Netflix, and it stars Tom Segura. It also stars, just to name one other individual, and I'm doing this for you, Mom and Dad, Robert Eiler, I think is his name, and you'll know him from a movie, or a series rather, The Sopranos. So the son from The Sopranos, he plays a part in 3 of these. It's a comedy sketch series where Segura explores the darker sides of human thought with humor and satire. The show has sparked discussions for its edgy content and bold approach, to say the least. It's super out there. All right, it's a little raunchy. You just have to see it for yourself, okay? And again, it takes a certain kind of humor, all right? So it ain't for everybody. I really like Tom Segura's stand-up. I think he's an excellent comedian. He mostly does story-type humor where he tells like in-depth stories and there's punchlines throughout. I think he's good at that. But I think he's brilliant, and I think these mini sketches are produced very well, and it was funny to me overall. I love some of the sketches more than others. Think of them as like, you know, minis or shorts, but every sketch is its own thing. But they're all done like a movie kind of sort of. So they're very cinematic, and some of them are funnier than others, and some of them are really wild and crazy, and just because of that, you gotta give it up. So if you're a fan of The Boys, bang, and we've talked about that, Carmen, I know if you're still around, sweetheart, I know that you like that show. Again, it's wild in that sense, where you'll see crazy shit, and anyway, give it up. AeroRising says, I haven't clicked on it yet. However, I have a screenshot of a comedy movie to watch called Friendship that I've heard is one of the best comedies in years, waiting for the right time to watch that. I'm not up on that either, man. Shoot me a link or somewhere I could check that out. I don't know if maybe I don't have it out here and that's why I haven't seen it, but that sounds cool. Maybe we could both watch that and then we'll review it, talk about it live. Chucha says, waiting for your pick of the week. Me, I'm waiting. All right, we'll get there. There she is. Carmen, I do like The Boys. Bang, I knew you did, sweetheart. Yeah. I'm gonna let it ride. Why not? She's here. You know what I'm saying?
Well, she sneaks around the world from Kiev to Carolina. She's a sticky-fingered filcher from Berlin down to Belize.
Come on, man.
Take you for a ride on a slow boat to China.
And we said, where in the world is
Carmen Sandiego?
Steal their soul in South Korea.
Shout out to you, darling. That means you have had us on the whole time. Come on.
Far too kind.
While she's working in the ER. Damn, that's commitment. That's what I want from our community. Bang. Shout out to you, girl. Now, look, let me say, just because you love The Boys, I don't know that you're going to love this. It's funny, but if that's your taste and, you know, if you vibe to that, check it out. It's cute. It's funny. It's different. It's wild. Bad thoughts. Bang. I loved it. Moving right along. Ladies and gentlemen, we are down to our last two. I know. No, we've given you eight titles so far. Mom, I'm gonna dedicate, I know you've already seen it because we've talked about it. Carmen says, yep, been here the whole time. Oh, I love that. Carmen Sandiego deserves a special prize. That is so sweet. Well, you know what you could do? You could go ahead and gift a subscription if you really want to. In fact, you've done that before, Chucha, because you're that girl.
Choo-choo, 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 choo-choo.
I don't know what more prizes to give. She's a diamond for sure.
Superman bands that I scored from Shaq with an old school cat.
She's a diamond in the chat. Yeah, that's about all I can do. But I do appreciate all of y'all. So there you go. All right, Mom, I'm going to dedicate this next title to you. I know you've seen it. Aunt, you're going to love it. Carmen, I think you're going to love it. Dad, you've already seen it. I think you loved it too. Chucha says, can't find the right password. Color me surprised. All right, moving right along. That's all right, Mom. It's all good. Don't trip. This one was great. It's not your pick of the week, but it would have been had I not seen one more film. Ladies and gentlemen, this one is called Nonnas. Starring my guy, Vince Vaughn. I absolutely loved it, and this is what it's all about. Directed by Stephen Tough when the names are spelled differently. I'm going to tell you how it's spelled, and then we'll say it together. Ready? Chbosky. Chbosky? I don't know. But it stars Vince Vaughn, Susan Sarandon, Lorraine Bracco, Linda Cardinelli, Brenda Vaccaro, and Talia Shire, as well as Shadows guy Joe Magnolello. I probably pronounced that shit wrong. And another Sopranos star, Drea De Matteo. I butchered that, and I'm very sorry. Joe Magnolello, that motherfucker's got a hard name to say too. Manganiello? I can't do it. I gotta spell it phonetically. Carmen says, OMG, I saw Nonnas. I was crying. It's a good one. I'm telling you. Russ loved it. Chucha loved it. I knew you all would. This is what it's about, ladies and gentlemen, if you're still listening and not laughing at me. It's a heartfelt comedy about a man who reconnects with his Italian heritage and the strong women in his family. It leads to his personal growth and some culinary adventures along the way. It was wonderful. It was wonderful, and I do not say that lightly. I really, really love this movie. It is a feel-good movie. It's a family movie. I don't think it's for kids necessarily, but anybody could watch this movie and get something great from it. It was really, really sweet, and it's cute, and God, it just makes you want some Italian food, doesn't it? So Nonna, as I understand it, is like a term of endearment in Italian for your grandmother. So if you're a Nonna, you're like somebody's grandma, and everybody knows your grandma makes the best food, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? It's that home cooking, you know, your Nonna, she takes care of you. So they open up a restaurant, and the chefs are all Nonnas or grandmothers, and it's so great. It's such a good one. AeroRising says, hey, my grandmother raised me. Good one. Yeah, Carmen says, I didn't realize it was based on a true story until the end. As a matter of fact, it very much is. It's based on a true story. That makes it, thank you for saying that. That was part that I neglected to recall. So thank you so much, Carmen.
Thank you.
How cool is that? Based on a true story. So very sweet. I love Vince Vaughn for many reasons. And I don't see him in a lot of work, but there's just this, he has this presence. I don't know how to describe it other than that. He's a guy, you know, there's a few actors and stars where I feel like, man, I would love to hang out with them. I bet in real life they're just as cool. And that's how he strikes me. And I really love his work. So shout out to Vince Vaughn. But who doesn't love Susan Sarandon? She's a doll. Carmen says, I definitely went to buy some Italian food right after I saw them. See what I'm saying? Listen, it's good when it makes you want whatever it is. You ever left the theater, like you watch an action film, you be like, shit, I hope somebody would say something to me. I'll whoop their ass right now. I'll just watch Bruce Lee. I could do that. Some films have that impact, and some of the good ones do it, and this one does it in regards to food and family and love. And it's a sweet movie. Sweet movie. My grandmother raised me. Good shit. Ladies and gentlemen, that was Nonnas, but it was not R&B's Pick of the Week.
We testing the game.
I've got one more, ladies and gentlemen, coming up next. That's right.
Bang, bang.
This is your Pick of the Week. But first, AeroRising says, shit, I went to my car in the parking lot after Mission Impossible with the theme song in my head, just wishing somebody would. See what I'm saying? You feel me? That's exactly right. I wish I had that theme song. I'm confident I don't. This is about as close as I can get to that. Come on. So imagine you just left the theaters, you just watched the Avengers, you with your peoples, you know what I'm saying? Y'all go back to back on them. I wish a motherfucker would. Come on, you get it. He said he was hopping up on the curb like he did some shit. Chucha says, eggplant rollatini for dinner tonight. Thanks. Ooh, look at Chucha in the chat. Hey, Chucha's a Nonna. You know what I'm saying? She's a Nonna. For sure. AeroRising says, opening the door with just a little more, probably intention, I would guess. Open that door. He's opening his wife's door and shit. Let me get that for you, sweetheart. Mission Impossible style. Hey man, I'm jealous you got to see that. I might, don't quote me, I might be going this weekend or next week, one of the two. I've got colleagues that want to see it, and then a friend of mine wants to see it. Shout out to Big G. We'll see. But that's one, Mission Impossible is one that I want to see in the theaters naturally. And ladies and gentlemen, if I haven't said this publicly before, I'll say it again and again. Tom Cruise don't miss. All right. Shout out to our guy TC. How about this for a lovely segue? As I understand it, Tom Cruise has reported to wanting to work with the lead actor of this next film. So much so that I saw a post that suggests he might be in the sequel. What? And I think that's pretty fucking cold. So without further ado, one more time, ladies and gentlemen, this is Ryan's pick of the week.
We testing the
Bang, bang.
You knew it in the chat, AeroRising. Good on you. Michael B. Jordan, absolutely. The movie is Sinners. It's a vampire flick, ladies and gentlemen. You know I had to see this one. Bang! I loved it. It's your pick of the week. It's one of the best films that I have seen in a very long time, and I don't say that lightly. Now look, we went through 10 movies now. A lot of them were shit, okay? It's a low bar, but that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying this one stands heads and shoulders above most of them. I really, really loved it for so many reasons. AeroRising says, TC has literally had no plastic surgery, LOL. Carmen San Diego, oof, Sinners, so good, yes! I love the engagement in the chat. I'm so happy you've seen this. You can back me up on this, Carmen. I hope this movie is excellent. Excellent film. Russ Barber says, then he's on Scientology miracle drug. That motherfucker look. Hey. No, I feel y'all. All right, let's get into it, shall we? Now, if you're really a Testing the Game fan,
We testing the game.
you've been on this show before, you'll know we've shown this trailer on the show. It was part of our movie preview game once upon a time. Yes, it was. I don't think the trailer did it any justice. I loved the film that much more. This is what it's all about. First of all, you got to give your flowers to the writer and director. I'm going to say that again. He directed it and he wrote it. I love him to death. His name is Ryan Coogler, ladies and gentlemen. He is dope. And it stars Michael B. Jordan. And forgive the pronunciation, I'm going to do my best. Wunmi Mosaku. She's also dope. Miles Catton, Jack O'Connell, Haley Steinfeld, Delroy Lindo, Lee Jun Lee, Jamie Lawson, and Omar Benson Miller, to name a few. Ladies and gentlemen, the acting is amazing. I think the storyline is awesome. The directing, exceptional. Fucking awesome. This is the plot synopsis. You ready? It was set in 1930s Mississippi. Twin brothers return home to open a juke joint, only to confront supernatural forces rooted in the town's dark past. A blend of horror and historical drama that has been praised for its cultural depth and storytelling. It's an excellent movie. I just can't say so much about it. Chucha says, can't watch without buying it yet. Damn. Well, Carmen also says Ryan Coogler is an amazing director. Absolutely he is. Thank you for saying that. AeroRising says, money don't crack, but he doesn't look as good as y'all are making him out to be. He looks, oh, damn. He's talking about Tom Cruise. I'm reading the chat back to front. Sorry about that. Back to Sinners. So good. Now, let me just say, I'm on TikTok, okay? And the way that algorithm works is like, if you engage with a piece of content, it's gonna give you so much of that same shit. So I have seen a lot of Sinners content in the last 2 weeks, okay? And the reason I'm bringing this up is because the film is super deep. And here's something, pause maybe.
That's what she said.
One of the things that I'm very excited about is this concept. Now don't quote me, but TikTok is suggesting, and I'll laugh at that, that maybe Ryan Coogler is going to create a Sinners universe. All right, I played it before, I'm gonna play it again. What? So, if you don't understand the relevance there, the Marvel Cinematic Universe is like a whole concept. These films are all tied together. I think he's gonna go ahead and make a series of these films that are all in the same year, so you see so many of the same characters. Maybe you get the backstory about the vampire, maybe you get a future story about one of, you know what I'm saying? How fucking dope would that be? Maybe Tom Cruise is in the goddamn sequel? What?
Bang, bang, bang.
Shit like that.
I gotta laugh at this. AeroRising says, I'm waiting on ICE to come get you for watching these movies out of pocket, bro. Hey, man. Hey, don't go telling on them. Yeah, don't you worry about that, my guy. Listen, it's really great. And I loved it that much. I hope that it becomes this franchise and just gets better and better. And I'm gonna hit that button just because we can.
You just keep getting better and better.
So, I'm not gonna go too in depth. Only Carmen has seen it, as I understand it, but that's cool. So basically, it's a vampire film. But what I also loved is that there's so much more to this movie, right? There's so many layers, and I'm trying to choose my words carefully so as to not spoil anything, because I don't want to do that for you. It's just great. Go see it. One of the things that I'll mention is Michael B. Jordan actually plays two characters. He plays twins, and that's worth an acknowledgement because, to his credit, first of all, fantastic actor, but he gives different breadth to each of these characters. So you see him as one twin and you see him as another. Their names are Smoke and Stack, okay? So there's that. And one is very different than the other. And then it's the relationship between these brothers and then the relationship they have with women and the rest of, I'm gonna call it the family. You know, it's all encompassing. It's just great, man. Mississippi. How about this for a fan theory? Again, I'm on TikTok. I think there is a theory that suggests that maybe the film Life, starring Martin Lawrence and Eddie Murphy, is also in the same universe, if you can believe that. It's not this exactly, but I'm on my tinfoil hat on that one because of the time in which this film is set and Mississippi. So if you know Life, that would be interesting, huh? Maybe you get a cameo from one of them. That would be amazing. Also, I hear, don't quote me, this is just gossip, I hear that they're actually related now. One of their daughters and one of their sons may have just gotten married. So how amazing is that? Martin and Eddie Murphy being family, literally. That's pretty cool. All right. I wish there were a couple of comments in the chat. I want to say so much more about the last bit of intel for you, okay? One of the things that is a theme in the film, whether you want to believe it or not, it relates to this legend of sorts, right? That there's a man at the crossroads who holds a guitar and he sells his soul to the devil. If you know that story, that is basically infused in this film. Now, naturally, as someone who grew up in the South and is into music in general and understand, you know, and I'm into like spooky juice and all that kind of shit, any story that relates to someone selling their soul, you better believe I probably heard it once or twice. Chucha says, they are now related. That's true. She probably Googled that. Shout out to ChatGPT. They are. How cool is that? But anyway, if you know that story, and I wish I had taken better notes, I could have told you more about this, but I think he's a blues player and he wants to be the greatest guitarist in the world. And so he sells his soul to the devil. This is just a story. It's a legend lore, right? Well, this movie relates in a way, and I won't spoil it, so check it out. That's pretty cool. She says, I did not have to Google it. All right, well, you saw the same article I did. Good on you. What's her name, ladies and gentlemen?
Her name is Chucha. She's getting lit up in the chat.
All right. So the film also touches on religion and different things. It's really good. The soundtrack is amazing. And again, I wish I had taken better notes. The dude that does the soundtrack, I think he's Swedish, and he has done exceptional. I think he used to work with Childish Gambino. So if you know Childish Gambino, it's just fucking great. It's a great movie, top to bottom, acting, cinematics, directing, soundtrack, story, all that jazz. Did you see CBS News? Hell no, sweetheart. I don't get CBS News. But that's cool. So that was newsworthy where you live. Okay, I dig it. All good. That's the movie review, ladies and gentlemen. I'm gonna leave that poster up, let it simmer there. Sinner's so good. I can't wait for the sequel. I hope they deliver. And if they don't, if they leave it as a one-off or a one-on-one, that's okay too. It's just that good. It's just that good. Bang. All right. Now, ladies and gentlemen, that's the majority of today's show. Aww. Don't fret. Chucha says, that was a good super mega movie review. Thank you so much. AeroRising says, I like how you don't have internet out there.
Toss a coin to your witcher, oh valley of plenty.
Shout out to Chucha. She's ready. She wants that reading. Shout out to you, girl. Before we do, yeah, Anthony's point is that I can watch CBS News on the internet. Thank you. Appreciate that. But I'm gonna go out on a limb here and guess that Chucha probably saw it on TV. You know what I'm saying? So in my mind went to TV. But no, I don't get CBS News as my resource. Like if I want news in general, first of all, I don't trust media outlets, and we're back on the fucking, you know what I'm saying? Hey man, I love that shit. Come on. I thought I did it accidentally. Shout out to you, man. Chucha says, I did. You watched it on TV. And says, I played the beat it like 3 minutes ago. Damn it. It's because Chucha beat you to it with the toss a coin. That's what happened there. They also reported Janet Jackson is back. I didn't know she left. I didn't know. Where was she? No, she hasn't been. And there's that. Love that. We got some Billie Jeans in the chat, ladies and gentlemen. You gotta do it. Wait for it. Hand clap. Speaking of Michael Jackson, and I shared this with Anthony recently, every couple of weeks, I mean, it's funny just because it's about that. Every couple of weeks at work while I'm doing my emails and things, I like to have background music on. And so I watch typically a Michael Jackson concert or something related. And this week, it was the film Moonwalker. Okay, one more time. It's really the bad era, Moonwalker, the film. But that's what the movie is called. And so nostalgic, so great. Michael fucking Jackson. Michael Jackson. I did this for you the last time we were on the show, and that was because there was relevance when we were putting you on game and telling you about the new Pope. The new Pope is from Chicago, and so I played this. Chicago. This is one of those joints you don't really know about. Again, putting you on game.
Chicago, 1945. Cubs lost that year,
so good.
But Al Capone was found alive. They searched 40 days in the suburbs of the night, but they found him alive.
R.I.P. one time to MJ, man. That's all I have to say about that.
We testing the game.
Chucha says, have you seen the Instagram posts of AI MJ Dancer? No, I haven't. Although I'm sure there's a lot of them. My Twitter feed, as you might guess, is super populated with MJ content. It's like, again, you engage with one piece of content and all of a sudden you're his biggest fan, but that's fine. Chucha also says, that's his hood, close to Gary, Indiana. Anthony and I were just talking about this as well. He made a joke. I don't remember the joke, and you can help me. It might have been as recently as yesterday. But the punchline was, shit, you ain't been there. The closest thing you've been is to Gary, Indiana. And I laughed at that, and then I sent him like a photo of 2300 Jackson Street. If you know, you know. Yeah, so shout out. So there you go. Anyway, I love that the show just took a hard left turn to Michael Jackson. That's okay. We can do that all day, every day.
'Cause this dinner.
And again, I'm getting super flagged on YouTube right now, but that's all right. Fuck them. Fuck them. AeroRising says, MJ, BJ, that's your entire feed, baby. Good one. All right. We'll let that marinate. Let that lo-fi just simmer for a second. Appreciate y'all. I love y'all so much.
Thank you. Far too kind.
This show wouldn't be shit if it wasn't for y'all. AeroRising says, talked about, oh, here we go. This is how it all came about. We were talking about Indian people taking over gas stations, how dirty the gas stations are. You said you never been to India, so I didn't know. And then he said, shit, you ain't never been to Indiana, boy. And that's how the meme came out. I haven't. I've never been to India or Indiana. However, Chucha Barber certainly has been to Indiana, ain't you, girl?
Choo choo, choo choo, choo choo, choo choo.
Yeah. And now she'll probably comment, and that's appropriate. I think she went to school in Indiana for a little while. Huh? We were talking earlier how I was classmates with a girl named Jen Surter. She was classmates with a boy named Larry Bird. All right, if you know, you know. Your roots are from Indiana, exactly. And it says government name. Yep, we're doing that. I'll put you on blast. Oh, Southworth, there it is. I had my cursor over the chat. I couldn't read it. Yeah, she was Chucha Southworth back then. Shout out to her. Indiana. This is always funny, and it's especially humorous to me now. So growing up, my mom would tell me about how she went to school in Indiana, but that it was so cold. And one day she was walking to class. I think she was taking a geology class, and she hadn't studied or done whatever. It's a funny story. I'll let her tell it one day. But anyway, she got to class, and she threw the rocks on the desk, and she was like, fuck this, I'm going back to Florida. The reason why that's hilarious to me now is because I live in Tromsø. Bang, okay? I don't want to hear shit about the cold. All right? I'm living it. Aren't you impressed by that, Mom? How the story has stuck with me? You know what I'm saying? Indiana, geology class. What's her name?
Her name is Chucha. She's getting lit up in the chat.
Speaking of, ladies and gentlemen, this next segment is for her. She loves it the most. If you're still with us, please hang out. Please hang out with us. I promise it won't be a long reading today. Coming up next is our live reading of The Witcher. Bang. All right, we have a tradition on this show where we change the background lighting, and this is how we do it. If you don't know, ladies and gentlemen, that is my most favorite wrestler of all time's theme music, The Undertaker. And when he gets in the ring, he lifts his hands up, and the pyro goes off, and the lights change. We ain't got no pyro, but we do it the way we do it. All right, I'm gonna bring y'all back home for The Witcher. I don't know why I said that. It is what it is. I'm just freestyling at this point. The Witcher read. Originally, this is what I meant. Originally, when we started the show, we didn't have segments. And so I think, and I'm going to give her some credit. Shout out to our friend Gwenilla. Gwen and I conceptualized reading out loud. She was like, you could do that. And matter of fact, shout out to her. She would remind me, I need to change our category. So let me go on and do that. We were doing the talk show podcast thing. And you might know they changed the graphic, the way the graphic looks on Twitch. I like it. Let me know what you think. If you know what I'm talking about, the category graphic on Twitch, talk show podcast. This one is reading and writing. And I don't hate this graphic. It's like a little bookmark. It's cute. All right, so now we've changed it up. Maybe we'll get another fan or two in here. Maybe we'll get another follower and hit that prize money. Don DeMarco. Chucha says, change the category. Thank you, darling. Thank you, darling. All right, so what I was telling y'all was we didn't have segments. There was no movie preview game. There was no movie reviews. It was just me talking, okay? It was just me. Again, I'm going to try to say, I fucked it up earlier. Sorry for the cussing. Try to say this again. I was in the gym yesterday telling my friend about my live stream, and then I was like, yeah, I just like to hear myself talk. She was like, you sure do. All right. Try to get a little redemption in there. If you heard the other story, I butchered it. Okay. So what are we going to do on the show? Well, we could do a live reading of something, and then luckily we stumbled upon The Witcher, and we are on book 2. Hence, season 2 of Testing the Game.
We testing the game.
So the seasons will be the books, and fortunately, there's about, I don't know if you can see that. I don't know how many books that is. We'll count them out. Looks to be 8 books in the series. So we're doing great. Chucha Barber has actually already gifted us the next book. Bang. Thank you so much. It was a wonderful Christmas gift. So I've got it over there on the table in the background. Book 1, Book 2, and Book 3, we're ready to go. If you would, toss a coin to your Witcher. Wait for it.
Toss a coin to your Witcher, oh Valley of Plenty, oh Valley of Plenty, oh.
All right. Now look, if you haven't been here in recent weeks, you're going to be like, well, I've missed so much of the book reading. How will I know what's going on?
Toss a coin to your Witcher, oh Valley of Plenty.
It's a different audio clip. Listen for it. It goes up. Play that lute. Thank you, Chooch.
Thank you. You're far too kind.
So you say, how will I know what's going on in the book read if I haven't been here the last couple of weeks? Well, ladies and gentlemen, I got you.
Toss a coin.
You mentioned coin.
Witcher recap.
This is your Witcher recap, ladies and gentlemen. Come on. All right, now I'm not going to back it all the way up for you. I'll just tell you what's going on recently and where we are, and we'll jump right into the reading. The deal is, we are at the Mages Conclave. Okay, so you've got Geralt of Rivia, the Witcher. He's our guy. Then you have Yennefer of Vengerberg. She is a mage. She's a sorceress, all right? She's Geralt's girl, all right? So they're both attending this mage's banquet, if you will, and we've met a lot of powerful people, mostly friends of Yennefer. And some things have happened that's irrelevant at this point. In the last reading, when we were together, there was like a spy, a king's spy, if you will. I can't remember the king's name. Doesn't matter. This guy's name, the character's name is Dijkstra. At least that's how I'm gonna say it. Maybe.
That's what she said.
Okay. I don't know if there's a joke to be made there. I'll let you do that. Dijkstra, that's the guy's name. He works for a king, and he's there to gain intel. And last week, or the last time we were together, Geralt and he have this dialogue. There's some banter exchanged. Well, Dijkstra says to Geralt, listen, one of these mages is going to pull you aside, and I want you to tell me what he told you. And he basically barters, and he offers to do something for him if he's willing to do it. But Geralt's a cold motherfucker, and he's like, no. So I suspect, though, the spy is correct, and we'll likely learn some additional information here pretty soon. Then the story continues, and there are some other mages. I'm going to call them witches, because why not? And they're flirting with Geralt. Uh-oh. And they're talking like they wanna sleep with Geralt. I'm just saying, all right? Now they know that he's Yennefer's, but you know, women will be, I suspect. You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of where we left off. And then at the very end of the last read, look, it's been a couple of weeks. Sorry about that. Okay, it's not the best recap you've ever received. All you need to know is we're at the Mages Conclave. We're at the banquet. God, I hope the banquet ends pretty soon. I'm tired. I need some action in my life. I don't know where Princess Ciri is. She's out and about. She's fine. She's going to witch's school pretty soon. Yennefer has just excused herself. We did learn that Yennefer is one of the top mages, however. All right, there's only so many of those, and she's one of them. So she is a bad bitch. And do me a favor. We don't do this always. Mom, I know you're there. You have some access to some emotes in the chat. Some of them are Geralt. I think at least one of them might be Yennefer. I don't know if you can use her or not. If you can, show your love in the chat by populating it with some Geralt of Rivia emotes. And that goes for anyone. If you're watching and you want to play along, hit me with some emotes in the chat. Let me know you're here. There they are. Come on, hand claps. Pretty cute, pretty cute. All right, cool. I hope you dig that. That's the theme of our show, ladies and gentlemen. We're testing the game. It's because we do the Witcher reading, and so true to form, we've got it for you today. I hope that was decent. That was your Witcher recap.
Toss a coin.
You mentioned coin.
Witcher recap.
All right. So, I'm going to do my best to find our place, and we shall continue the read. You might also recall that for some reason, the author of this book just didn't give us short chapters. I mean, he was just unfriendly. And now I've lost our buttons while you're doing that.
Oh, valley of plenty. Oh, valley of plenty.
All right, we're back. Don't worry, class. I know how to fix it. So, we don't have short chapters, and therefore we just don't have concrete stopping points. So we'll just read until we don't want to, until we get tired. And boss, I'm tired. We've been live streaming for 2 hours and 21 minutes, but who's counting, okay? So let's do this. I'm gonna try to find, remember I told you, I think I recall that the witches were talking, and then someone else came up and spoke to Geralt. So I'm gonna try to pick up from that point, and we will go there. Here we go. Y'all ready? One more time. Toss a coin, and we'll do it.
Toss a coin to your witcher, oh valley of plenty, oh valley of plenty, oh
Toss a coin to your
We're gonna keep this party going,
oh
apparently.
valley of plenty.
I love the engagement, Mom. Matter of fact, right on cue.
Choo-choo.
Come on.
Choo-choo.
Hey.
Choo-choo. Choo-choo.
Love you, girl. The Witcher, staring at the tablecloth, hid his foolish expression behind a prawn and a lettuce leaf, extremely pleased to have the mutation of his blood vessels, which prevented him from blushing. Witcher Geralt! I don't know if that's the right voice, we're just gonna do our best. He swallowed the prawn and turned around. A sorcerer who looked familiar smiled faintly, touching the embroidered facings of his purple doublet. Doer Gary of Voyle, but we are acquainted. We met. I remember. Excuse me, I didn't recognize you right away. Glad to. The sorcerer smiled a little more broadly, taking 2 goblets from a tray being carried by a page boy. I've been watching you for some time, he said, handing one of the glasses to Geralt. You've told everyone Yennefer has introduced you to that... Excuse me. Slow it down. You've told everyone Yennefer has introduced you to that you're enjoying yourself. Is that duplicity or a lack of criticism? Courtesy. Towards them? Said Doragary, indicating the banqueters with a sweeping gesture. Believe me, it's not worth the effort. They're a vain, envious, and mendacious bunch. But they don't appreciate your courtesy. Why, they treat it as a sarcasm. With them, Witcher, you have to use their own methods. Be obsessive, arrogant, and rude, and then, at least you'll impress them. Will you drink a glass of wine with me? The gnat's piss they serve here, smiled Geralt pleasantly. With the greatest revulsion. Well, but if you like it, then I'll force myself. Sabrina and Marty, these are the 2 witches I was telling you about, listening intently from their table, snorted noisily. Doragary seized them both up with a contemptuous glance, turned, clinked his goblet against the Witcher's, and smiled. This time, genuinely. A point to you, he admitted freely. You learn quickly. Where the hell did you acquire that wit, Witcher? On the road, you insist on roaming around, hunting endangered species? Your good health, you may laugh, but you're one of the few people in this hall I feel like proposing such a toast to. Indeed, said Geralt, delicately slurping the wine and savoring the taste. In spite of the fact I make my living slaughtering endangered species. Don't try to trip me up, said the sorcerer, slapping him on the back. The banquet has only just begun. A few more people are sure to accost you, so ration out your scathing... Ripsos? Looking for a button. I'm not sure what this word is. Chucha, you love this. Riposts. God, that sounds stupid. R-I-P-O-S-T-E-S. Ripostis? You're scathing ripostis? I don't fucking know what that means. Goddamn, right? Anyway, we're gonna keep it moving. Chucha, if you want to look that up for me, you can help me pronounce that shit. A few more people are sure to accost you, so ration out your scathing insults more sparingly. But as far as your profession is concerned, you, Geralt, at least have enough dignity not to deck yourself out with trophies. But take a good look around. Go on. Forget convention for a moment. They like people to stare at them. I'm curious about that riposte? It's like, I don't know. We're moving on. The Witcher obediently fixed his gaze on Sabrina Glevisig's breasts. God damn.
That's what she said.
Look, said Dora Gray, seizing him by the sleeve and pointing. Chucha says, quick delivery insults. Yeah, I understood what the concept of the word was, but I don't know how to say it. I'm looking for like a phonetic spelling. R-I-P-O-S-T-E-S. Ripostes. Ripostes. It doesn't feel right to me. It's probably another language. Ripostes. Ripostes. I don't fucking know. Give me this. You fail, Ryan. You fail. It's fine. Look, said Dora Gray, seizing him by the sleeves and pointing at a sorceress walking past. Slippers made from the skin of a horned agama. Had you noticed? Chucha says repost. Okay. Doesn't read like repost to me. But that's cool. Thank you so much, Chuch. What's her name?
Her name is Chucha. She's getting lit up in
Short
the
E
chat.
sound. Reposts. It's the ES that's throwing me off. R-I-P-O-S-T-E-S. Repost. Don't love it. In hindsight, I wish I would have just replaced the word like I did that second or third time. It's fine. I just look like a fucking idiot on TV. Here we go. Look. I've read this section already, but we'll do it again. Look, said Dora Gary. And I've said his name 7 times. It doesn't matter. I'll say it differently every time for you. Seizing him by the sleeve and pointing out at a sorceress walking past. Slippers made from the skin of a horned agama. Had you noticed? He nodded, ingenuously, since he'd only noticed what her transparent tulle blouse wasn't covering.
That's what she said.
That's something else I should have told y'all. These witches, boy, they dress pretty scantily, all right? They're fine, so they like to show it off. Remember, I think part of their transformation in becoming sorceresses is that they gain all this beauty and youth. Chucha says, a horned what? I'll tell you. Agama. A-G-A-M-A. Slippers made from the skin of the horned agama. It could be fictional, Ma. Don't trip off that. It's probably some fictitious beast in this lore. I don't know. Doesn't matter. Moving right along. He nodded, ingenuously, since he'd only noticed what her transparent tulle blouse wasn't covering. Oh, if you please, rock cobra, said the sorcerer. See, I think these are just fictional beasts. She says it's a reptile. See, you're good on you. He says, he's correcting himself, it's a rock cobra. Oh, if you please, rock cobra, said the sorcerer, unerringly spotting another pair of slippers being paraded around the hall. The fashion, which had shortened hemlines to a span above the ankle, made his task easier. And over there, white iguana. It seems these reptile leathers are of the fashion. And over there, white iguana, salamander, wyvern, spectacled caiman, basilisk. Every one of those reptiles is an endangered species. Can't people bloody wear shoes of calf skin or pig skin? Going on about leather as usual, Dora Gary? Asked Philippa Elhart, stopping beside them. And tanning and shoemaking? What vulgar, tasteless subjects. Chucha says, they need a gator skin. You know they do.
Chapo.
Chapo.
Love that. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Philippa Elhart has entered the chat. I don't know how much more I got in me, pause. We're gonna figure this thing out, okay? And then we're gonna roll out. Going on about leather as usual, Dora Gary? Asked Philippa Elhart, stopping beside them. And tanning and shoemaking? What vulgar, tasteless subjects. People find a variety of things tasteless, said the sorcerer, grimacing contemptuously. Your dress has a beautiful trim, Philippa. Diamond ermine, if I'm not mistaken, very tasteful. I'm sure you're aware this species was exterminated 20 years ago, owing to its beautiful pelt? 30, corrected Philippa, stuffing the last of the prawns which Geralt hadn't been quick enough to eat into her mouth one after another. I know. The species would surely have come back to life had I instructed my dressmaker to trim my dress with bunches of raw flax. I considered it, but the colors wouldn't have matched. Let's go to that table over there, suggested the Witcher easily. I saw a large bowl of black caviar there, and since the shovel-nosed sturgeon has almost totally died out, we ought to hurry. Eating caviar in your company? I've dreamed about that, said Philippa, fluttering her eyelashes and smelling enticingly of cinnamon and muskroot as she slipped her arm into his. Let's not hang around. Will you join us, Dora Gary? You won't? Well, see you later and enjoy yourself. Women! All right, it's getting good. I'm going to give you another page or so. Come on. The sorcerer snapped his fingers and turned away. Sabrina Glevissig and her red-headed friend watched them walk away with looks more venomous than the endangered rock cobras. Dora Gary murmured Philippa. Oh, excuse me. Chucha says, I'm enjoying myself. Well, go on, girl. I'm glad you are. What's her name?
Her name is Chucha. She's getting lit up in the chat.
All right. The trouble is, the reading comes at the tail end of a 2.5-hour stream. And so my energy level, as you can well imagine, goes like this. You know what I'm saying? So it's hard for me to want to like stay in character and do all that jazz. But I love that you love it. Here, let me adjust this a little bit too. I love that you love it. All right, we're going to toss a coin and keep reading.
Toss a coin to your witcher, O Valley of Plenty, O Valley of Plenty, oh.
Dora Gary, murmured Philippa, unashamedly snuggling up to Geralt. She's talking to Geralt, excuse me. I thought she was addressing the other guy. Dora Gary, murmured Philippa, unashamedly snuggling up to Geralt. Spies for King Ethane of Sidaris. Be on your guard. That reptiles and skin talk of his is the prelude to being interrogated. And Sabrina Glevissig was listening closely. Because she spies for Henselit of Cadwyn, he finished. I know. You mentioned it. And that redhead, her friend. She's no redhead. It's died. Haven't you got eyes? That's Marty Sodergren. These women are catty, I tell you what. Chucha says, it's a comment about her enjoying herself. Oh, I see. Your comment in the chat was a comment about her. Pretty clever, Chooch.
Choo-choo.
Come on.
Choo-choo.
All right.
Choo-choo. Choo-choo.
Here's something else that frustrates me since we're talking. I can't ever find like a comfortable position to hold the book. I want to be close to the mic and like hold the book, and then the mic obstructs my view. It's a whole fucking thing, ladies and gentlemen. Don't worry. We're going to get there. We're going to figure it out. Here we go. Come on, Glevissig. She's no redhead. It's died. Haven't you got eyes? That's Marty, rather. That's Marty Skoberg. Sodergren. She's Swedish. All right, focus. She's no redhead. It's died. Haven't you got eyes? That's Marty Sodergren. Who does she spy for? Marty? Philippa laughed, her teeth flashing behind her vividly painted lips. Not for anyone. Marty isn't interested in politics. Outrageous. I thought everyone here was a spy. Many of them are, said the enchantress, narrowing her eyes. But not everyone. Not Marty Sodergren. Marty is a healer. And a nymphomaniac. Oh damn, look! They've scoffed all the caviar, down to the last egg. They've licked the plate clean. What are we gonna do now? Now, smiled Geralt innocently, you'll announce that something's in the air. You'll say I have to reject neutrality and make a choice. You'll suggest a wager. I daren't even imagine what the prize might be. but I know I'll have to do something for you should I lose. Philippa Eilhart was quiet for a long time, her eyes fixed on his. I should have guessed, she said quietly. Dijkstra couldn't restrain himself, could he? He made you an offer, and I warned him you detest spies. I don't detest spies. I detest spying. And I detest contempt. Don't propose any wagers to me, Philippa. Of course, I can sense something in the air, and it can hang there for all I care. It doesn't affect or interest me. You already told me that, in Oxenfurt. I'm glad you haven't forgotten. You also recall the circumstances, I trust. Very clearly. Back then, I didn't reveal to you who Renice, or whatever his name is, was working for. I let him get away. Oh, you were so angry with me, to put it mildly. Then the time has come for me to be exonerated. I'll give you Renice tomorrow. Don't interrupt, and don't make faces. This isn't a wager a la Dijkstra. It's a promise, and I keep my promises. No questions, please. Wait until tomorrow. Now, let's concentrate on caviar and trivial gossip. There's no caviar. One moment. She looked around quickly, waved a hand, and mumbled a spell. The silver dish in the shape of a leaping fish immediately filled with the roe of the endangered shovel-nosed sturgeon. The Witcher smiled. It's pretty good. That last reading, not bad if I do say so myself. So, before we move forward, I don't want to glance over the fact that old Marty Sodergren is a healer and a nymphomaniac.
That's what she said.
Okay? Goddamn. Again, sometimes it just becomes so apparently clear that a man wrote this book. You know what I mean? It's just unnecessary, right? Oh, she's a nympho? Oh, you don't say? Anyway, she just says, ha. All right, Mom, you want to keep going? I could give you another paragraph or two. But you gotta earn it, sweetheart. I need some Geralt emotes, or I need a coin toss. One of the two, baby. Or we hang it up and we call it a day. She says I'm good. Damn, left me hanging there. All right, so just to confirm then, you do not want to read any further and we call it a day, is that right? That's so sad. I was ready to read another paragraph. If you don't want to, it's fine. It's fine. It's your call, babe. This is your part of the show. I have to start the Italian gravy. Bang. Well, that's it. Give it up.
Choo-choo, 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 choo-choo.
Oh, yeah. Well, let me go on ahead and change the category then to just chatting. Save that. It never keeps the second time. I don't know why. It's just a thing. You gotta do it twice. There it is. Ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna change up the lighting. See how we did that. And then I'm gonna take you back to the live. God willing, none of those fucking videos will play. But of course it does. I just can't get right. You know what I'm saying? For anybody that's been watching this show more than 1 week, every time we go from The Witcher back to the live scene, a video or two always plays. I can't seem to turn them all off. I work really hard. There's only about, 37 fucking graphics on my screen that I gotta keep a little eye on. It's fine. Chucha says, I love you the mostest. Streaming on Saturday is the best. You're too sweet to me, Mom.
Her name is Chucha. She's getting lit up in the chat.
Well, I love you back. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Far too kind.
Thank you to each and every one of you that have joined in the live today. I mean it. I love y'all. For real. This show wouldn't be anything without you. Bang. I hope you enjoyed it. I think it was a great show. I say that every episode, but that's because I feel that way, all right? I mean it. We testing the game. We don't do schlock TV, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
I can't get my mic the way I want it, but that's fine. Here comes the perfectionist in me. I'm gonna fix it until I do. We got it. I'll try to line it up just right. All right, there we go. All right. If you missed the show, we put you on the game. We told you about Google's new VO3. If you missed that, rewatch the VOD. We gave you Anthony's part of the show.
I'm Anthony, he's Anthony, it's Anthony's part.
He went to Argentina and he took us to Argentina. Shout out to my guy. Speaking of Anthony, he is a 20-time champion.
You think you know me?
All right. If you don't know what I'm talking about, rewatch that VOD.
On this day, I see clearly.
He's our movie preview game champion. He has won 20 times. He's going back to the movies. I got you, bro. And then we had Ryan's Super Mega Movie Review. We gave you 10 titles. Holy moly. That deserves a Don Juan DeMarco, I believe.
Don DeMarco.
Bang, bang, bang.
Shit like that. And then we had, you know what I mean? The Witcher read. Not the greatest, but it wasn't bad. It was entertaining, you know what I'm saying? Toss a coin.
Going to your Witcher, oh valley of plenty.
Let it ride.
Oh valley of plenty. Oh.
So that's it. I hope you all enjoy the rest of your Saturday. I'm not sure what I'm going to do. I did this at the beginning of the show. Let me go on ahead and say it again. Since the weather got a little prettier out here in Tromsø, your boy went on a little 5K run. So if you're into running and all that good stuff, hit me on the Strava, baby. It's a fitness app. You can download it. I think it's free. You probably have a subscription too, but I don't pay. It's free. You can follow your boy. We give each other kudos. You know what I'm saying? All that good stuff. I'm out here. We are still, sadly, it's one of these, but that's all right. Ladies and gentlemen, we're still on the road to 75. One of these days, we are going to reach 75 followers, and we will give away some prizes. All right? Looking forward to that. One more time, it is currently still available for pre-order on Amazon.com. Ladies and gentlemen, Oscar the Oyster and Rusty the Redfish. It's a beautiful children's book. Here's that QR code. You can pre-order it today. Go on and run it up for us, ladies and gentlemen. We were trying to do that. She's a bestseller, you know what I'm saying? Shoot your barber, ladies and gentlemen.
Her name is Grouch-o. She's getting lit up in the chat.
Chill. I think that's all the good stuff. It's a rare thing that he doesn't make his presence known at all, sadly. Aww. But we love him. We know he's working. This is for you, Brody.
Federico.
I hope you're having a good work day. Nevertheless, Chucha says, we love him. We do. Wait for it. I gotta go back and forth. We love him. We do love him. Shadow1311, ladies and gentlemen. He's always watching. He's in the background. He likes to watch the replays, so we appreciate you, man.
Thank you. Far too kind.
And that's it. I was going to tell you about my day. I'm a little hungry. Got to eat something. I might hit the gym. I've been working on my fitness. I'm feeling good about that. Yep. Thank you for that. Oh. And we're big proponents. Health and wellness. I told you all about that before. Exercise is important. Eating whole foods is important. She said she's going to make some Italian. I'm so upset. I'm not going to be there. And she's going to make Anthony and his wife some Argentinian food from the beautiful cookbook that they gifted her. Come on. Russ and Chucha eating good. I suspect, Mom, Dad, you're out at Razor Creek. You're going to stay out there all weekend when you're going back home. Test out that new hot tub. You know what I'm talking about? You got that new hot tub, baby. We can take it offline if you want to. I don't know what your plans are. I'm just killing time. She says, we're going home tomorrow. Well, there you go. Well, get there safely. And hit me up when you do. I love you. All that good stuff. Ladies and gentlemen, it was a good show. Thank you again for being here.
Thank you.
I'm going to let it roll. I'm going to hit you with the tagline, and then I'm going to roll the credits. But this was fun, and I very much, Mom, keep waiting, because one of these days we're going to have a chat full of people, and we will be able to play Geralt of Trivia. Powered by H5P.com. I've got a trivia game lined up, and again, we're gonna give away prizes. So I hope you're into that, but we need participants, you know what I'm saying? Without the participants, it just don't work. Chucha knows the tagline. She says, "Get back to work. This is for you, Mom."
This was a successful unveiling. Go back to work.
This was a successful unveiling. Now go back to work. Love y'all. I'll see you in the next one. Testing the game.
We testing the game. Oh yeah.
This is for my subscribers. Steve Young in his prime. I'm like a 49er. Get it? Prime time. Amazon subscriber. Never mind. Jerry Rice couldn't catch the vibe. It's over your head like a Hail Mary. I'm player coaching these hoes. I'm Mike Singletary. Handle women like halfbacks. Beast mode. Slide in on the Cash App. Chico. Fuck a DM. Holla when I see them. Probably shoot my shot in the parking lot of the gym. I got paper like I'm Dunder Mifflin. Who is Pam without her gym? Louis Vuitton Christian when I gift them. I see you red. She want a facial on vacation. That's what she said. I might shoot like Dwight Schrute on a beef farm. Leave Kevin alone. The boy got bars. Your girl watch me on the stream. She go crazy. Her name's in my chat. It's a rap. There's no maybe. You know we fucking. It's a subathon Sunday. Baby swallow bits like she love me. Your girl watch me on the stream. She go crazy. Her name's in my chat. It's a rap. There's no maybe. Sorry, buddy. These snow bunnies are hot for me. Tops coming off. And the Tesla's not a drop, homie. I appreciate y'all watching. I love y'all from the bottom. Thank you so much for all of your support. Tuning in, gifting subs, all that. I love y'all.
Dwight, you ignorant slut!